I'm live. Going live. Come with me if you want to live. Come with me. If you want to live, if Arnie's chasing you, that is. Which he could be. He wouldn't be as fast as he has been in the past. But that's the way it goes. Let me just adjust things slightly. Still adjusting. And let's stop the Amiga from ticking away with its heartbeat. I think that's the Lemmings disc. Let's... Got the Blood Bunny music. You probably can't see it. There it is. Probably can't see it. Can now. Mark Stevenson, what are you saying? You've got a HD SCART to HDMI. I plug in my RGB to SCART into the HD unit, but only get sound and no picture. So that's you're talking about so that's an RGB cable from the Amiga to some kind of SCART to HD converter. Is that what that is? Well, if you're getting sound, that's one thing. It means you're getting something. I mean, I suppose you should check that the SCART leads definitely... Well, SCART leads can be wired up differently for different things. They can have S-video, they can have composite, and they can have RGB. So I suppose you need to check what it's wired for and what your thing accepts. So I've got the OS. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Let me just see if I can zoom. Okay, you plug it into TV. Wait, yeah, they can be a bit finicky. I mean, it's a bit weird because I don't know what the... Well, there it is. Zoom in on it. Zoom and enhance. Hang on, I'm going to zoom and enhance. You probably can't see it. It's all... There it is. So there's the OSSC. So I've got this RGB cable going out to that, and then that's going into this little capture box here that gets fed to the stream. But yeah, maybe your cable works. I don't know. Maybe a little HD converter can't understand the signal from the Amiga. I don't know. I suppose it depends on whatever it is, doesn't it? I suppose it depends on what you've got. Let's try and get the camera back on the Amiga because that's what we're interested in. It's a bit green now. The white balance is all going. Oh, it's changing. White balance is changing. Also white balance. This is like a little Sony Handycam, which is cheap and cheerful, but it's quite good. Not all HD converters transport the sound output. In this case, you've only got the sound output. Is that right? You get sound, no picture. Yeah, I suppose it's pretty important for them to take the sound with it, because if you're sending it to HDMI, HDMI is also sending the sound, so you want both. You really want both of those things. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe your box just doesn't understand it. This OSSC is really good, and it does understand the Amiga, so I've never seen it had a problem with that. But it's expensive, but it makes the picture look great. Oh yeah, yeah, it's sound and no picture, which is a bit weird, but like I said, maybe it just can't understand the signal it's getting. I don't know. It's not like a box that only understands like 60 Hz and you've got a 50 Hz Amiga or something like that. The OSSC is actually telling me on the front it's a 49.92 Hz signal, it's 15 kilohertz horizontal or whatever. And 313p it says, which might be correct. It could be correct. What is the HD converter then? What is the thing that takes the SCART and turns it to HD? What is it? What cheap converters work with RGB? RGB to SCART? You mean I don't know what you mean. Do you mean RGB coming out of the Amiga? Like the Amiga can take RGB and SCART takes RGB. So you're talking about SCART to HDMI then or something like that. I suppose the answer is that whether you want cheap or not, because where is the cheap one? I don't know where it is anymore. This thing. And these are all over. These things are all over Amazon. I don't want to drop it on my Amiga because this is rubbish and the Amiga's expensive. So I'll hold on to this very thing. This works. Absolutely works. But does it look great? Not really. Has it got tons of lag? Yes. And I've done a video on that. So yes, this will work. There's the SCART input. This totally works, but the lag can make games unplayable. Like Lemmings that I'm going to play in a bit, it's just unplayable on this. You will miss clicking the Lemmings. That's the unfortunate thing. I mean, the picture output's not insanely bad. I played Cannon Fodder with it, but it's really the lag that's the killer on that thing. That's the one. It didn't work. You've got that one. Okay, well you might have a problem with your cable then, because that thing definitely can take the output. It can take the RGB output from the Amiga, and it can understand it. So there you go. I mean, where did you get the cable from? Like, who wired it? Are you sure it's an RGB cable? That's one thing to be aware of. Because it could be a S-video cable or something like that. It doesn't have to be RGB just because it's SCART. A SCART can take lots of different signals. And I think there is also a pin on... There's a pin on the SCART output that you have to apply voltage to or not or something to tell it whether it's RGB or not. And that's how the TV can understand it sometimes. So they might... The TV, like, it might guess, like, what's coming out of the signal and go, oh, I think this is RGB, I'm going to look at the RGB. But there is a pin where you're supposed to send a signal, a voltage, and it tells it, oh, this is an RGB signal, so look at RGB, or this is not, so look at composite instead. But anyway, that does work. So this thing, like I said, this thing's terrible, but it works. So I suspect you've got something wrong with your cable. There you go. That's my suspicion. As in the Amiga cable. What make is this one? I don't know. They come under different brands, I think. This one doesn't have a make. It's made in China. But they all look a bit like this. Some of them will say something different. But it just says HD video converter. It does not have a brand. It's unbranded Chinese. There you go. It's made in China. Congratulations. Don't know what the brand is. But it works. It totally works. It's probably like £20. And it's got this audio output here. This thing. This thing here. And I used to do my live streams where I would send the audio output to the headphones that I'm listening to here. And this thing has got the buzziest audio output in the world. It's horrible. So that's the other problem with it. The OSSC also has an audio output that I'm monitoring here, and there's no buzz on it. I actually bought capacitors to recap my little speakers that I'm using, because these powered speakers, because I thought the speakers had bad caps in them because they're like 25 years old or 30 years old or something. And it turns out there's nothing wrong with them. It was this. This thing's horrific. So it's bad on lots of accounts, but it does work. So that's probably all you need to know. It works. So you've got another one. Well, I've got the OSSC, which is like, in this country, I think it was £170. But honestly, for me personally, it's been worth it because it's got rid of the lag and the picture looks better and I use it a lot. So find an RGB HDMI using the Raspberry Pi Zero. It doesn't take sound though, you'll need some external speakers. Yeah, that might be a good idea, because that... Can you do that in the Amiga 500 or the Amiga 1200 or something like that? Or does it work in it? I think it works in the Amiga 500, that, doesn't it? Aren't Raspberry Pis hard to get hold of at the moment as well, though? I'm not sure. I've got a Raspberry Pi 3 or something, but I bought that ages ago. But external speakers isn't the worst thing. The reason I don't want external speakers for me personally is because I am live streaming, and if I have external speakers, then I'd have to get an audio input back into the computer to get that and get it synced up with the video. which I don't want to do. So the fact that the OSSC takes the video and the audio, mixes them together, and then sends them out to you guys, then you get the sound and the video, which is what I want. And I've got a separate audio output that is going to my headphones through some powered speakers that I can use. So I've got separate speakers in the room. I'll turn them up here, this will sound horrific, but I've got separate speakers in the room, and that's coming out of the audio output on the OSSC. So I've got an audio output for me, and you get the video and the audio mixed together. So I don't need to like do anything crazy. Nothing too fancy. Nothing too fancy. That's what we want. Well, that's what we don't want, I mean. Nothing too fancy. I need to get the... I think when I'm doing this streaming, I need to watch the actual chat from YouTube on the webpage, because it's just much faster than what I get. Have I got another HD converter you recommend? I haven't, because I've only used that terrible one and the OSSC and nothing in between. So I've used the really cheap one and it's rubbish, and I've used the reasonably expensive one and it's very good. And I don't know about anything in between. I would imagine if you check out, there's a channel called Retro RGB where the guy literally, his whole channel is just dedicated to all this kind of stuff, where it's just like, how do I get my old computer onto a modern monitor, or even onto an old monitor or whatever. And he must have some videos on it. He's got a video on this. He's got a video about this thing saying how it's garbage, and I did one as well to confirm that it was garbage. So we've both got one, and he must have some videos out there about all this other stuff as well, like what's the best converter to use or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, there's I suppose a lot of other people might use RetroTink, which is also quite expensive, and also I went on the website yesterday and they're not even actually selling any of them. So that's another problem. He's gone away for a while or something. I don't know if he's ill or on holiday or something, but it just says not shipping any orders, so you can't even buy them off the person who makes them. So there's a problem. So I only know of the RetroTink, which is the other one, which is supposedly very good, but completely hard to find. So I don't know, but it sounds to me like you haven't got... Well, if you've got a bad RGB cable, then you need to fix that first. Hey, Bazza, you're back. Or I'm back. I don't know, we're back, whatever. We're back! Oh, and Coolvin1, you're back as well. Hi. I mean, we're back, sorry. We were just talking about HD... Long time. Well, I was on last Friday, actually, but it's been a while. We were just talking about HD converters. What's the thing for tonight? It's not Terminator, I just put that in. I've decided not to title the streams with the name of the game I'm doing. I'm just going to give them a stupid name and then we'll do whatever we want. But I was going to play some more Lemmings, because last week I did the first 4 levels of taxing, I think. So I'll continue. All those Amazon converters say 1080p. Is it all lies? No, they're all 1080p, but it's how they convert up to 1080p, which is the bit that's garbage. Like the OSSC is 1080p. This thing here is also 1080p. They're both 1080p. One of them's garbage and the other one isn't. It's the upscaling that's the hard part. It's how you get to 1080p is the problem. I think that one you can switch it between 720p and 1080p, and not that it makes any difference. It just comes out the same. It might just be that if you've got a 1080p monitor, it looks a little bit better. But it's the lag that kills it, not the picture quality. The picture quality is not great, but the lag is the thing that kills it. If you're not bothered about lag, it's not too bad. But I don't know how I did cannon fodder with it. I played cannon fodder with that thing, so that was a problem. I got my kick ROMs from Clone 2. Is it Clone 2? Cloan 2? Someone will have to check that. I don't know. Cloan 2. Clone? I'm going to call them Clone 2 because that sounds stupid. The whole name sounds stupid. I got my MiG 600 kick ROMs from them, but the ones in this are from Hyperion. I don't think it makes any difference where you get them from as long as they're legit. Good to see you again. Long time for me. Oh, right, yeah. Cool. Well, you missed last week then. Nice one. Can't beat Lemmings. Well, we're trying to... Well, am I trying to beat Lemmings? I don't know, but I've been working my way through it slowly. I'm on, like... It was like when we were on easy, I was getting through like 10 levels in a stream. Now I'm getting through... Like last stream, I got through like 3 levels, I think. So this one, it might be like 1. I don't know. And my retro bright. What's anding your retro bright? How much lag is it noticeable? Clo-ant toe. You're saying it's Clo-ant toe? Seriously? How much lag is it noticeable? It is noticeable because you will find, like I was playing Turrican, and you will find that there's jumps that I can't do because there's so much lag. There's jumps where you have to go around things like that, and I just can't do it. I was thinking like, am I terrible at this game? Because you have to kind of like jump, push out, and go back. But by the time you've jumped, he's already hit the wall and coming down again. So there's that. And then in Lemmings, you can watch the video of me going to click the lemming as he walks past, and you will not click it. If you click the lemming when it's under the cursor, you will miss it. There's that much lag. It's 5 frames or something like that, or 5 or 6 frames. It's horrific. So what you end up doing is, like, I think the first stream where I played Lemmings, if you see me click a lemming and he's walking past the cursor like that, I'm actually clicking before it gets to the cursor. So you start to like naturally try and compensate for it. So if you're playing a puzzle game or something, or a non-real-time strategy game, then it doesn't really matter. But if you're playing anything that's got real-time in it, it's not great. And like I said, the picture quality isn't the selling point for these better converters. The picture quality is just massively improved. But it's not the worst thing in the world if you've got the lower picture quality. It's the lag that's horrible. I suppose it depends. If the picture quality is really bad, then that might be the case. But you're looking at like the really good picture quality on this now. That's like, I think that's as good as you'll get out of an Amiga. That's been like compressed by YouTube and everything, remember? So just be aware of that. So that's never going to look as good to you as it does on my screen. But that's as good as RGB looks as far as I'm concerned. I don't think it gets any better. Didn't notice any lag with PS1 Broken Sword. It always takes 10 seconds for the character to respond. Yeah, so if you've got a laggy game, it doesn't matter. So you might get just better picture quality if you had something better. So yeah, so apparently the PS1 appears to be very similar to the Amiga in output. It's got a 240p output, and it actually does do RGB apparently. So RetroTink do actually do a thing just for converting the PlayStation to HDMI, which should just make it look great, and I assume would also have no lag. But again, they're also impossible to find right now because RetroTink aren't selling anything and everything's out of stock. But if you play a lot of PlayStation 1 or whatever, then it might work. Apparently it says it works on PlayStation 2 as well. Just have to use my RGB to SCART directly. Yeah, you could do. That's assuming it is really RGB, but maybe your TV's interpreting a composite signal. I think you need to look at where you got the cable from and see if the cable's actually valid. I got one of these RGB cables from eBay that is insanely thick and just super high quality, and it costs about £25, and it's total overkill, but it totally works. And you could always wire your own, but wiring your own is a nightmare because you have to look at the wiring diagram for how you wire RGB on those things. So the answer is check your cable first, and if it looks terrible, like really terrible, it's probably not RGB, it's probably the composite out it's doing. Did you know you can use a Mega Drive controller on the Amiga? I did, but I'm not sure if it's safe to use the Mega Drive controller on the Amiga. I've got a Mega Drive controller down there, and I've never plugged it into the Amiga because I'm not sure if it will blow it up. Because I know there is certain things with the CIAs and stuff like that in the Amiga where you can press a button and hold a key maybe, or do something weird, and it can screw the CIA chips or screw the input chips or whatever. But I haven't looked into it enough to know if it's okay to do it. But I do know they work. I just don't know if it's safe to do it. And it might be safe to do it if you don't do certain things. And if you knew what they were, that'd be all right. Like, don't press a key while you're using the joypad. Like, as long as you never did that, you'd be all right. But I'm sure that's the thing. Somebody might know more about that than me. I don't know. I'll stick with my old CRT telly. Oh yeah, that's a good point. The other thing you can do is just get an old CRT and plug it into that, because that's you don't need any digital upscaling, and then all the problems go away. Of course, if you're trying to live stream, you're back to the same problem, which is live stream. You can't live stream a CRT unless you point a camera at it, and then it just looks worse than those terrible converters. So yeah, be aware of that. Vamped Amiga, hi, Dave Poo 2. That's me, hi Vamped Amiga, and hi everyone. Yo, Tech999999, yo. I use my Amigas directly with HDMI on a Sony Bravia. Is that old school? Sony Bravia 32-inch LCD TV. The picture is actually quite good considering the scaling. So how do you get your Amiga to the HDMI? It seems to me, are you using the... that's a good point. How are you doing that? Because Amiga doesn't do HDMI. If you have a PS3, it does a good job of upscaling PS1 games. It just doesn't like OBS. Oh yeah, that's a good point. It probably just doesn't like any kind of capture device. Like I said, I've captured the Xbox, and what happens on the Xbox One is if you restart the console, it will let you capture it, and it'll let you capture games and all kinds of things. But if you start any app that has Sony's stupid, whatever it's called, the content protection stuff on it, or whatever it was, Sony came up with it first, didn't they? If you start any app that does that, then it will refuse to capture anything else ever again from the HDMI port, like anything. So if you start the Xbox and launch Netflix, for instance, then you cannot capture it again until you've restarted the Xbox, and then it'll let you capture everything. So they just don't want you capturing movies or anything. It's like, seriously, like we can't capture Netflix, like the Xbox, like you just can't do that with a PC. Like, of course anybody can do that with a PC. Why they've made the Xbox stop doing it, I don't know, because literally nobody's ever going to do that on an Xbox. Nobody's that dumb. So I don't know why they've done that, but they have. So I don't know why if the PS3 is just like they lock it out right from the start, but the Xbox One's like kind of semi-locked out, but the games don't stop you from capturing them. How do people stream PS? Or do people not stream PS3 at all? They just stream something else. Not HDMI. Got a bit fast on the typing. RGB to SCART. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Right, so it's got SCART on the back of the Sony Bravia. Yeah, I've got an old LG 42-inch television that's still actually my main TV for my Xbox One, and I'm not getting rid of it because it's got SCART on it and it's quite useful. If you buy a TV nowadays, it will not have SCART anymore. I think that TV is probably the last of the largest flat screens that still had SCART on it. It does work with Amiga. It doesn't look great, and it's got less lag than this dumb converter that I've got, but still some lag. So it's still not as good as plugging in with the OSSC. So yeah, it's kind of worth having old TVs. If you want old TVs with SCART, then you need to go into charity shops in Britain anyway, because there's loads of them in there. There'll always be like 2 or 3 TVs that you can tell them because they've got the really wide bezel on. But if you look on the back, some of those TVs have just got everything on the back. They've got SCART, they've got composite, they've got VGA, and they've just got everything like on the back. I don't know how good they can look, and the lag will probably be pretty bad on those as well. But InDivision AGA 3 is great. VGA to HDMI output. Can embed audio via HDMI. I've not heard of that one. InDivision AGA 3. So maybe that's one to try. And you said, yes, my cable is 24-pin RGB to SCART. Well, you might probably need to check that it's wired correctly then, because maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. So that's the thing. Yeah, because it definitely has to send... Anyway, you'd have to get the SCART pin diagram up, but it definitely has to put a voltage on one of the pins to tell it what to use. That might be to tell it whether to do S-video or composite, but SCART's such a weird connector because it's got at least three different types of video output in there. But it's basically, I think it's basically a VGA connector with a S-video connector, with a composite connector, with stereo audio connector, all built into one. It was really it's the HDMI of its day, wasn't it? Let's face it. The HDMI of its day. But yeah, I think that's the problem with these old computers is that, well, it depends on who you are. If you still just want to plug the computer into an old CRT, I don't think you've got any problems because you've got old computer, old monitor. Nothing's a problem. If you want to use them on modern flat panels, which is what I do, because I don't want old monitors anymore. I haven't got any and I don't want any. As fun as they could be, they're all a kind of a dying breed anyway. I don't want to maintain them and I don't want to store them. So I've got the problem of having to upscale without it looking terrible or being laggy. And that ends up costing... Basically, the OSSC costs more money than the monitor I have it plugged into here. I've got a Dell 23-inch monitor or something, which is quite good. But the OSSC, oh, that's a hard thing to say. The OSSC costs more than the monitor it's plugged into. So, you're saying, yes, but I plug it directly in the SCART socket and it works. Yeah, that's true. But what I'm saying is your TV might be guessing at what it thinks the SCART is telling it, but it might just guess, basically, and guess right. Or it might be more intelligent, and instead of reading that pin, it might go, but wait a minute, there's signals on the RGB and there isn't on this, so it must be an RGB signal. But not everything's going to be that smart. Everything else should be, if it followed the spec. If the cable isn't working correctly and it followed the spec, then basically your TV also shouldn't work. So it might be that your TV is just intelligent enough to work out when it's got a bad connection, but work out what to do. That's what I'm thinking, Sammy. I like the way we've got the Mario music going on here. Super Mario World. If you haven't seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, you've got to go and watch it, by the way. You have to. It's mandatory watching. There's very little, next to no lag, in fact, with Mr. Yeah, that's another good point, actually. That's another thing you could do. Instead of having a real Amiga and a flat screen, you could just get a Mr. or something like that. And that's probably cheaper than buying the Amiga and the OSSC. And it can do loads of stuff. So the Mister's probably a very good way of doing that kind of thing. I've not got a Mister. I haven't got any... Oh, I've actually got... I was going to say I haven't got any hardware emulation, but I've got a bare metal Raspberry Pi in a C64 down there. That is actually quite cool. So, but it's not really FPGA, it's just emulation, but it's good. A cheap but good option is to connect an Amiga to regular VGA monitor is GBS 8200. Yeah, but you need I suppose that's the thing with the Amiga, you need a monitor that supports this 15 kilohertz horizontal refresh rate, don't you? So that's the trouble, isn't it? Because most of them aren't 15. Is that am I right there? But if you can find one that works, it technically just plugs right in, doesn't it? So, yeah, that's a good option. Again, but not if you're live streaming, because you can't live stream. So, that's your problem. I've used this on 2 monitors and 2 TVs and still got the problem. Well, I think you'll have to work it out. It's either going to be your cable or it's the box that doesn't work. The converter box might have a problem inside it. I don't know, but it's the cable or the box. But you think if you think the cable works, then that's probably not that. But I would still suspect the cable, even if it works on the TV, because like I said, the TV might be guessing. You'll find that with a lot of things. Like for instance, the Commodore 64 outputs S-video, and most things that you plug it into will accept S-video, and they will show it on the screen, which is fine. Except the S-video that the Commodore 64 outputs was put into the Commodore 64 before the S-video standard existed, and it's not compliant. So it's not actually S-video it's outputting, it's something a lot like S-video, but the voltages are wrong and stuff like that. And you'll find most devices can interpret it because they are tolerant to it, but some might not. And they might just show you the wrong colours, or they'll start blinking on and off and stuff like that. So yeah, just because something works, it doesn't mean it kind of works. If you know what I mean. And that's what the RetroTink is good for, because things like the RetroTink know that the Commodore 64 isn't compliant, and they try and make it so that it works with that makes the non-compliant signal work. It's not trying to make S-Video work. It's trying to make C64 non-compliant S-Video work. That's my opinion anyway. All you need to do is just find all the stuff, plug it all in, and hope it works. Converts to regular refresh rate. I don't know what that means. You mean the monitor converts to regular refresh rate? I don't know. Every day is a school day. I think so, yeah. Might buy another converter. You could try another converter. No need to 15 kilohertz monitor. Oh, okay. Well, you could try another converter. Like I said, I'm not going back from this OSSC now. I know it's a lot of money, but there is no going back. Unfortunately. I mean, I kind of regret, really, I suppose I regret buying this one. Because at the end of the day, I wasted the money on this one because I'm not going to use it again. Not going to use that. But it did serve me well. I suppose it's useful if you want to... I don't know what I'd use this for. I'm not going to use it for anything. It's junk. It works. It's junk, but it works. It's like a lot of cheap stuff you get from a lot of these places. It's cheap, it's junk, and it doesn't technically... It's not technically broken. But I would still suspect RGB... I would still suspect RGB to SCART Amiga cables, because I think there's not even one standard way of actually wiring them up. Technically, you could probably wire them up a couple of ways. Like, I had one, and I opened it up, and it had a couple of diodes in it. I can't remember why. I think they were using diodes to drop the voltage, to get a lower voltage on some of the pins to make it more compliant. And that was great, but that worked. Here's the reverse of this. That worked on this and didn't work when I plugged it into a TV. So I ended up taking that cable apart and just rewiring it and taking the diodes out because it was nonsense. It would just, the screen would flicker if I plugged it into my TV. But I rewired it. I can't remember how I rewired it. I haven't done that for ages now, but I rewired it and it now works on both. But yeah, somebody had put a couple of diodes in there. So it's like, I can't remember, they were Schottky diodes or something, or just a couple of normal diodes, but they were using the voltage drop on the diode to get a lower voltage, to change the voltage on the pins, because again, I bet you the Amiga isn't SCART compliant. If you look at the RGB output, it's probably the voltages are wrong. So again, that might be the TV is tolerant, but the box isn't. Or in my case, vice versa. Use the jump converter to hook up a backdrop monitor for silent demos. Yeah, you could do that, because it wouldn't really matter about the lag then, and if it was in the background, no one's going to care. So yeah, you could use it for stuff like that. Oh yeah, the Blood Money tune. It's looped round and we're back to Blood Money again. It's good, isn't it, the Blood Money tune? Where's Ghouls and Ghosts? I kind of missed that one. Let me play that one again. Well, I tell you what, I'll leave Blood Money on, see if you like it. It is a good one. If you're from the UK, order cables from Retro Computer Shack. Best cables. Really? I'm going to have a look at that now. Retro Computer Shack, you say? Retro Computer Shack. I don't think I've ever seen this. Oh my god, their webpage. It's got rainbow all over it. And is this a real company? Seriously.
The biggest unanswered question is, where is the money?
Is this? Are they actually real?
Where is the money?
Illness update. Wait a minute. Oh my word. This person was diagnosed with leukemia. Oh, he's made a full he or she has made a full recovery. That was in 2016. Wow. I was thinking, like, is this person shut down already? This person's made a full recovery from leukemia. Excellent. That's good news. Right. Products page. Oh, SCART lead designs. Has it got Amiga? It's got Sinclair Commodore Amiga. Click to view. Wow, there you go. This website, Retro Computer Shack, has got the wiring diagram for the Amiga SCART RGB to SCART cable. So there you go. So it's telling you what to do. So there's 5 grounds. Why are those all together? There's 5 grounds in there. There is a red, green, and blue signal. There is a C-Sync signal. What's that? Composite sync, which I think you still need even if it's RGB. See, and it says there 4.1 volts peak to peak. So I think that might be the one that they put the diode in to get it down to 4.1 volts peak to peak, whatever. And what else have we got? So there's a video ground. There's a separate audio ground, is there? And there's a left and right audio. And there's a plus 12 volts and a plus 5 volts. So, and it's telling you that you have to have the correct resistors on these as well. 470 ohms on the C-Sync because it needs a different current or something. Oh, there you go. Pin 8, yellow, plus 12 volts function select. So is that the one that you have to send 12 volts to tell it to do RGB? And if it doesn't get the right voltage there, it will not do the RGB. It will look at something else. There you go. In fact, oh, it's even got a big write-up at the bottom about what it's all about. There you go. The function select signal is used to automatically select the TV's AV audio video signal SCART input and picture aspect ratio. The Amiga outputs 4.3 aspect picture ratio. A voltage between 5 volts and 8.5 volts is required to auto-select the AV SCART input and switch the TV into 16.9. A voltage between 9.5 volts and 12 volts is required to switch the SCART input and to the 4.3 mode. So it doesn't switch the RGB, it's telling it that there's something on. If you put a voltage on there, it's telling the TV, hey, there's something plugged into SCART, it's on, and I want you to put it in 4.3 mode. So you need to send a 9.5 volts to 12 volt signal to that pin basically. So they're just taking 12 volts from the Amiga and sending it to there. So if you don't do that, like I don't know what your TV will do. It might say, well, there's nothing on, like it's not on. So it might decide not to play, but then it might decide to play the sound. I don't know. So yeah, it's complicated. I think it's not as cut and dry as just wire up the cable. But yeah, that Computer Retro Shack's got the full. Oh, and it says click to buy a ready-made SCART lead. Let's have a look. And it's on eBay for £15. There you go. So you could trust them to make one for you. £15 for a ready-made SCART cable built on all those specifications. And you can. Oh, they've sold 1,237 of them. That's awesome. Sorry, I'm not reading the chat. I'm just on the Retro Computer Shack page now. But they look quite good. And what else have they got? They've got loads of stuff. Absolutely tons of stuff. All sales are through my eBay shop. There you go. They do Neo Geo RGB video leads. This is awesome. There you go, Retro Computer Shack. It's not sponsored, but those people may have what you need. I'm sorry, I've been. Cables are great. No better than the cables, but he's not shipping to EU anymore. Oh well, there you go. So if you're in the UK, you can get it. Retro Computer Shack. That's it. You tried to make your own RGB to SCART. What I did was I took apart one that didn't work because it had those diodes in it, and I rewired it and made it work. I think I just took the diodes out, and I might have followed one of those guides where it said to put some resistors in or something. I can't remember now. I did it so long ago. I can't remember. But what I do remember is it didn't work on the TV, but it did work on the converter box. It was in fact, it was pretty intermittent if it would work at all. So it was just someone had come up with their own crazy way to wire it up. He has his own eBay store, almost 34,000 sold items. OMG. 100% rate. Well, there you go. If you want cables and you're in the UK, it sounds like the guy to go to. The one I got was from a different seller, but it was It was just crazy overbuilt SCART cable. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I won't point at it, but it's got this huge, thick, like it's a centimetre thick SCART cable with all the shielding. It's actual just overkill. It's not necessary. The one that I rebuilt was really thin and crappy, and it produced the same video quality as this one. So I don't know. It might depend on like your environment though. If you've got a noisy, electrically noisy environment, maybe you'll get some interference. I don't know. But certainly didn't make any difference to me. Did you say there was an RGB to SCART blueprint on that website? There totally is. There is a guide on how to make your own if you really want. It's retro computer. I'm just going to go back to it. I'll post the link. But you could use it to check the cable you've got to see if you think the cable you've got is right. If you go to the homepage, it's got SCART lead designs, and then it's got the Commodore Amiga. And I will post the link to that in the chat, because there you go. You could verify your cable against that diagram. Now yours might be different because people do different things, but it has to be something like that. This is RGB SCART lead version 2.6. There you go. And it says OSSC compatible, that's what I'm using. Tested with the open source scan converter. Cool. But yeah, God knows what that person was doing with those diodes in the one I had. It was bonkers. But it didn't work. It may have worked on their monitor that they have, but not on mine. Right, I suppose we should get on with some Lemmings, eh? I think we're looping the music now because we've listened to it twice. Tried a few different cables, all have some kind of bug, scrolling lines or something similar. But with Retro Computer Shack, picture perfect on any screen. There you go. Verified, it works. It totally works. Right, I don't know which disc is the right disc. I do have this like Lemmings disc, but it doesn't work, so I've got these pirated versions. I do have to turn the cache off though, because this is an Amiga 1200 and it doesn't work. Oh, I also don't know the code for what level I'm up to, so I'm going to have to look it up. Oh, this is that's a weird thing about the OSSC though. You just saw the screen come up and it took a while for this monitor to show it. That actually might be the monitor problem, it's probably the monitor that's wrong there actually. Ignoring me about that one. I think the monitor just takes a while to change resolutions. Right, let's see if this thing will boot. Yeah, you can tell it's OSSC when you see that little blue thing for the top left. I don't think this is the right disc. No, it's the wrong disc. That is the wrong trousers, Gromit. But there you go, that was a long talk about RGB cables. But they are a minefield, I can tell you that. They're an absolute minefield. You just think they're a simple cable, but they're not. Yeah, this screen wobbles a bit actually. I don't know if that's anything to do with cables. Can you see it on there? Can you see it wobbling? It only does it on this screen. It's a weird wobbly screen. I wonder what kind of intro the Amiga version has. Intro to Lemmings. You get to see it. It's not bad actually. It's got that. Expansion RAM detected and utilised. It's got Psygnosis, now owned by Sony. It's got a very clicky disc. Yeah, the intro to this isn't bad. I mean, considering this is the floppy disk days. That's DMA Design's logo that I'm pretty sure they only used for one game. Or did they just redesign it every game? Here we go. Hey, they've got the blocker, got the umbrella, and the climber. And that. I don't know what that was. Lemmings, there you go. That's the whole intro. It's pretty good, yeah. I think the intro's pretty good, actually. I mean, they put a lot of effort into that because none of that was necessary, really, for the game. I mean, and they had to redraw all those graphics just for that screen. So that's pretty awesome. But I suppose it kind of sells the game a bit because the Lemmings are only like 4 pixels. So, well, they're more than 4 pixels, but they're only a few pixels in height. So you kind of need that at least to sell it. You can see them a bit here as well, I suppose. Right, this is the... Oh my god, there's mayhem after taxing. Good lord. This is the bit where... this is the bit where I don't know the code. And I can't remember what level I was up to, actually. Let's look up Lemmings Amiga codes. Lemmings Amiga codes. Right. What was I on? I was on taxing. Was I on... These codes aren't the same ones that I saw. I remember it started with C. Right, let's try it. Was I on level 4? Code for level 4, taxing. Let's have a look. Is this it? Oh! I wonder if lemonamiga.com is right about this, or if I've got the wrong level. It's definitely... Oh, this is right. This is the level I'm on. Lend a helping hand. This is the one. Oh, they cut the bottom of the P off. Do you think they intended to do that? This disc grinding is real. It's real. Trust me. This is a real disc drive. They look nothing like real Lemmings. I was quite disappointed when I saw my first actual Lemming. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people in this world alive today at the moment the first time they saw a Lemming, it was a little creature in a blue top with strange coloured hair. And yeah, and you see an actual Lemming, you're like, it's a little mouse. I watched a video yesterday with a guy playing every Double Dragon game, 10 hours, 45 minutes. And ports. The Amiga port had what sounds like a lemming dropping on the ground when the opponent dies. It could be that they used the same sound effect. It's possible that there was a sound effects library that they used and they did actually use the same sound effect. There's definitely some of them. If you play Quake 1, some of the noise, I think a lot of the sounds from that actually are from a sound effects library, and you might hear them in other games. So you might hear the Quake door opening in another game, but it's not because they stole it from Quake. It's because it was an open sound effect that anyone could use. So that's a problem. Right, last week I failed at this level. So this week, got to do better. So, oh, I've forgotten how many. I know it was 75% I've got to save. And yeah, so the problem is I'll just let the level run and we'll do it again in a minute. But the first problem is that there's this thing here where it kills the lemmings, which is really fun to watch. And the other problem is that these guys have got to get up here. And these are spike things. So that's the problem. My voice is going already. These are spiky things here. So if the lemmings go over these, they get murdered. Hi Bam. I used different boxes, OSSC and similar. Finally, I bought an Indivision AGA Mark III for my Amiga 1200, and it's a really great piece of hardware. How much does it cost? That would be my question. How much does it cost? You're going to put ID into your Amiga 1200. Do it. That's what's in this one. It's completely useless while I'm playing this game, but it's there. Let's nuke him and try again. But there you go. There's the level. I've got to get up here. This is the hard bit's getting up here without murdering too many lemmings. Oh, and I've also got to get I've also got to get the lemmings from there underneath and out the other side. What's the deal with real lemmings? Do they swim out to sea and drown or something? No. I think it was a Disney you can look up the Disney documentary where the lemmings are jumping off a cliff or something, and apparently it was faked. They pushed lemmings off a cliff or something, I think. I believe that's what happened, but there's a Disney documentary. So the basis of this game is based on a fake documentary from Disney. I think that's right. So thanks, Disney. Thanks for nothing. Thanks for ruining some of the Star Wars films and making some good Star Wars films as well. And thanks for that. Right, here we go. Let's not let him die. Right, I've got 20 builders, so I think I can build from about here. Let's try it. Like I said, this was a disaster last time, so we'll have to see how this goes. At least they've given me enough time to do it all. I think the trick is that I need to not let them get... I need to block, I think. I think I need to... Oh, that might be really bad. I think I didn't need to block there. I think that's completely screwed it. No, that was really just rubbish. Like I said, this is taxing. You have to be prepared for me to fail a lot on this. A lot. But at least I do have the extra RAM, so we don't have to load again here. It's all in RAM. All 2 meg. Well, it's technically it's got 6 megabytes. All right, let's go. Right, I think that's the right place to start building there. Could be wrong. I think ideally I want to just clip his head over there. Do I want to get to up here? Oh, that's going to go... This could be bad. What I have done here could be really bad. Like I said, it failed at this last week, so let's see how this goes. Right, I think... Let's try this. Is he going to be alright? Right, they don't die there. That's good. That's a good start. So I think now I'm going to try and get these dudes under here. How did I do this last week? I dug down there, went across, and then kind of blew him up. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, really. Right. This is not good. Uh-oh. Oh no! What have I done? This isn't good at all. Well, I can still get them out of there, but I mean, come on. I haven't got any climbers or anything. This is just stupid. No, he's not going to build. There we go. There you go. Right, I've got him out. I've saved it. I've saved it. Right. The hard part's going to be building back here, I think. Right. Oh no, this isn't what I want. There we go. Right, this is where it's all going to go wrong. Okay, right. I've stopped him from dying. Oh, this is just... This level. Am I doing this right? Am I doing it right? I don't know. Still got 10 bridges. No, that's wrong. Oh no, look what I've done! This is just stupid. What have I done? Hey, are they building between the blockers? I didn't know they did that. I didn't know they did that. Whoops. I was so excited by the... Oh, I didn't know this. This is weird. What? I can't even see what they are now. Hang on. One lemming has come out. Oh, what is happening here? What have I done? Oh, he's going to get spiked. He's not going to get spiked. I'll run out of bridges. Right, I've messed this up. That was weird. They were building between the blockers. I didn't know they did that. But I've run out of bridges. I got really stuck in here. But that's interesting. He managed to build up to that, like... spike thing, but he didn't die when he hit it. So maybe it's only the middle bit that kills them. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening! Good evening. Disney pushed small woodland creatures off a cliff? I believe so. That level is not easy, but it is doable. Took me about 30 tries to complete. I think I'm already past about 30 at this point, because including last week. There you go. I think. Let's go. I've only got 4 blockers. Maybe I shouldn't use the blocker there. Maybe I should get him to build over that. Is that a possibility? I'm going to lose a lemming. No, it's not going to make any difference because... Oh, I've saved a blocker, I suppose. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to try building right from about here. I don't know if that's going to work, though. We'll see. I might hit the roof there. Oops, missed. Oh, I'm going to totally hit the roof, aren't I? Let's get this dude through, because this went wrong last time, didn't it? See if I can do it. Got to hit him right at the end. Oh, I did it worse. Oh, I think I'm going to go right into the spikes, though. No, I think that's too far to build back. Hey, I blew some of that up. Okay. This is not working. Oh, it's all gone completely wrong. I'm not going to get through it. Come on. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's all about clicking the right lemming. Right, I don't think this is going to work. I think I've messed it up again. I'm always clicking the wrong lemming. I want to get this guy right on the edge. Yeah, but he keeps not building. Whoop. Let's just see if he'll die if I build into that now. Oh, he still falls off the edge. That's not good. But they're not dying. Does he have to hit that one or something? That's weird. This trap's just weird. It's like it'll kill you, but it won't kill you. It's weird. Let's see. I think I've lost... Have I lost too many lemmings to do this now? not? Oh, when he falls down there though, he's gonna die. Unless it times right. No! Oh, he's alright. Right, he's fine. What's going on here? Uh-oh. That wasn't what I wanted. Right, here we go. Oh, build the bridge. Oh, I've run out of bridges! Damn it, I think that was going to work. I think if you build a bridge up there, it goes back. Anyway, that was kind of working. I need to build the bridge from that line there, I think. You're running out of builders. I am. But I wanted to keep going because I wanted to try and see how well I could do there. And it goes to show if I get it in the right place, I can... Somebody got spiked. I can get across here without losing many lemmings. What a nightmare. Oh, missed him. Right, I think that's the right place to start building. Let's get these dudes across here. I think this blowing it up is the right thing to do as well. I think. Oh no, this is where I'm going to waste all the bridges again. Oh, that's just a nightmare. How did I do this before? Oh, did I dig... Oh, I think I dug back and blew up. Or is that not going to make any difference? I'm wasting the bridges again. Oh, it's just not happening. Oh, for God's sake. Right, they're out. But I've wasted loads of bridges. I don't know what's going wrong there. I don't know how the best way to do that is. Uh-oh. Did that wrong. No, this is just a mess with all these people here. Oh yeah, he does when he hits the blocker, he goes back the other way. I did not know they did that. So I've only got 4 bridges left. That's not enough bridges. Because I messed up with so many down there. I've got a stuck lemming. That's annoying. Ah, damn it. Oh, what? Why can't I nuke them? There we go. I need to find a way to get this guy out from down here without screwing everything up. I think that's a problem. That is a problem. Right, let's try this again. I need to try this bit. Yeah, there's not a lot I can do here. Other than just like, let's just go straight away. Oh, I did it wrong. Oh, that's alright. I can get away with that. Oh yeah, but look, they're all falling down there. This is the same problem I had before. I don't know how to stop this. Is there a better way? I can't dig up. It's in. Oh, I could dig another guy down into that. That would work. That should have been what I did. I could have dug down into that. Oh, but how do I stop this guy then if I'm going to do that? This is complicated. I keep getting stuck in there and just wasting all the bridges. That's the problem. Right, let's try again. I suppose actually I can build both ways, can't I? That'd be the way to do it. Oh god, this. If this is what I've got to do, it's a nightmare. Uh oh, I forgot to block. Okay, let's try that again. Right, remember to block. Right, first thing to do then is to get these two sets of lemmings together. I think. I know how to do that now. I'm going to do it successfully. I need a reliable way of doing it, and that's going to be like this. Here we go. Right, let's do it. Oh, I did the wrong thing again. I pressed the wrong one. They've given me just enough as well, so if I do this wrong, I can't do it. You're going to have to watch me do this level a lot. This could be the one level I'm going to do today, if I do it. I mean, I have got the lemmings to the top before on a previous go, but I didn't get enough. I think I got 70% when I tried it before. Right, I need this digger. That's it. You're going down there. Come on. Oh, now we hit the wall. Okay, let's not do that. So I'm going to get the guys to dig across to each other. Once I've mastered this bit, that's one part of the puzzle over. The other part's like trying to get up there. Right, let's go. Right, here we go. There you go. You go down there. Don't hit that metal thing. He did, he hit it. Maybe this can still work, actually. Let's see if that works. Is he going to hit the metal thing as well? He did. Damn. Damn you. Maybe this thing I'm trying to do doesn't work. Oh, maybe it does. I've just got to start from the other end. No, that won't work either. I think that the blowing up way, I'm going to have to go back to the blowing up system. It's just getting this, it's getting these two linked together is the bit that's perplexing me. Because I can do that, and I can get this guy to go under here. Oh, he's hit the wall. Oh, no. This is a nightmare. Right, let's not do that. What a nightmare. So what did you say? 30. Whoa, 30 attempts. I nearly stopped streaming then. 30 attempts. It's going to take a lot more than 30 attempts, I think. It is for me, anyway. It is for me. Oh, I'm sorry. I've not got a lot of desk space now. I keep pressing the wrong mouse buttons. Right. Here we go. So the problem is... Oh, he's gone off the bottom of the map this time. It's got worse. It's getting worse at this level, not any better. I didn't think joining these two lots together was going to be the hard bit, but it's quite hard. I mean, I could try joining them from... Oh, I suppose I can... Oh, what am I doing? I should join them from the other side, shouldn't I? Yeah, if I do it from this side, it'll be fine. Yeah, what am I doing? So if I do this... like that. I've left myself 1 pixel to walk on up there, but that's alright. Oh, but now my lemmings are stuck. Now my lemmings are stuck and they've got to get over that bit. It's ridiculous. Right. It's alright though. It's kind of working. Right, I'm digging into the spikes now, so this is all going to go bad. No, this is not good. No! This might have gone really wrong. I wonder if I've lost too many. Oh yeah, he totally turns around on a blocker. A blocker turns a bridge around. I didn't know that. Oh, they're all going the wrong way. No, I don't want these. Just go the right way, please. Oh, this is messed up. Right, I think they're going to go the right way now, but I think we're going to lose some more. I don't... That's not enough lemmings, is it? Not being able to see the individual lemmings in tight areas is something of an issue. It totally is here. Oop. Yeah, it's an issue. Oh, I lost so many to those traps down there. It's stopping them from dying when I'm building up there. Is a problem. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. That's my problem. I think this thing worked though here, building back and blowing up, and then they all went up this way. So that's alright. I think I can start building from there. Let's just try it again. I mean, maybe I've got the right idea. I just got to get I just don't know how I'm going to stop them all from falling down there. I could put a blocker in and like... Oh, I can't even send one up there. I'm going to need to send a couple, you see. That's the problem. It's difficult. Have you tried blocking all the lemmings but one? Use that to build the stairs. I can't because I need if I do that to build the stairs, I need more than one lemming because one of the lemmings has to block because he'll dig. I think he'll dig into these traps. I think that's the problem. Unless there's something about this I'm not understanding. But this was certainly better, digging backwards instead of forwards. There's my 1 pixel gap. So I think I can build from there. I think. Yeah, so that's quite a reliable way of getting all these lemmings over here. That's the first trick. First trick succeeded. I've got that bit. This is the hard bit. So this is the bit where they're all gonna die. So I lost a... see, if I got to block him as soon as they start dying. And then I'm kind of stuck in this trap. It's weird. I'm stuck in this evil lemming trap. Uh-oh. Let's let him dig up there. Let's see what happens. Oh my word. Right, how many are we going to lose now? Uh-oh. Didn't want to do that. No! It's just evil. It's evil. Right, how am I supposed to get him up here now? I've got 7 bridges left. I've just the bridges are just wrong now. Oh, and those bridges are going to go the wrong way. Come on. No, that bridge is the wrong way. That bridge is the right way. I don't think there's even anywhere near enough there. I think it's zapping a lot of lemmings when they get hit in those traps. Damn. It says then use, so I could use 2. I could take 2 across. I could do. I might need more than 2. I could try it with 2. But if I block one down at the bottom, then I've got to get rid of the blocker, and that means blowing up the blocker. And that means I don't know how I'll get back up to the top then if I do that. It could work though. If you see there, look, I got 70%, I need 75. So I'm not far off doing it like this. If I could just stop them dying when they're going up to the top, it wouldn't be that bad. It seems that building the stairs does not lead them... It seems that building stairs does not lead them to the horrible death. So after they manage to pass over the other side, I think you should block them. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that wasn't enough. It was 75. With 2, I don't think you need a block if you build waiting for one to go away from it. I don't know. It all depends on where they are when they're going across. It depends on where they are and what they're doing. Just don't know. Oh, I did that wrong. I'm always picking the wrong one there. I'm just going for the same tactic, but somehow less lemmings have to die. See, the thing is here is like, if with it like this, there isn't loads of lemmings coming through. So I can take them through later. As long as these lemmings keep coming out. So this could work. Let's try this. But now these guys are gonna... Now they are all gonna... So I've got a few up here. I didn't really need the blocker, did I? So I've got 3. But some of them are gonna die. Probably he's gonna die now. He's alright. He got squished. Right, this guy's gonna build right into this thing. Is he just gonna die here? Right, I think this guy can build. Is he gonna? Yeah, look, he turns around on the blocker. That is awesome. I didn't know they did that. Don't die. So I just need to save one bridge down there and that's all I need. This is a lot easier when there's no lemmings up there. And I've still got 4 minutes, so the time limit's not the problem here. No, now we're going to have bridges building the wrong way. I've got the same problem down here. I think you've got this now. I think I've got it. I hope I have. So the trick was that this tactic of building back this way and blowing it up solved my problem of not getting stuck in here. And also solves the problem of getting all the lemmings to stay down there without too many of them going up. And I still kept a couple up there, which was alright. And I did I lose one to the spikes? I think I lost one to the spikes. Oh, look at this. 90%. That level was taxing. It's got its name. It's got its name. It earned its stripes. Oh! The disk drive. I love it. That level seemed no problem to you on that attempt. Yeah, well, I'm glad you clarified that. Because that was... How many was it? You said 30 attempts. I probably took 30 attempts at that one, I think. Including last week. I think I had 5 or 6 last week. It's probably 10 there, was there? Or 15 attempts. Savage level. It is indeed savage. Right, I'm going to have to go make a drink because we spent so long talking at the start. My voice is already going. We're going for an hour and a half. I've done one level. Let's just have a quick look at this. If the disk drive doesn't break. Wow. I'd be surprised if the disk drive works after this. 60 lemmings, 75%. Release rate 50. OMG. OMG. There's a lot going on here. Look at this. I have got blockers. I'm just building loads of bridges. What am I going to do here? Okay. Right. While I go make a drink, you can go work this level out. I'll leave it on the screen. Oh, hang on. Let's make sure the lemmings don't die. And then you'll get 4 minutes to look at it. Right. There we go. Right, I'm going to go make a drink. What? Why are they're walking past the blocker? That was a bit naughty. They walked past the blocker there. Right. I assume going to the top is bad, but you never know. But there's 2 exits you can go to. So, somebody work it out by the time I get back. This could be a hard one. Could be easy. Don't know. Right, have you figured it out yet? The Ghost in the Machine. Isn't that... or is it the God in the Machine? What is the... Is it Deus Ex Machina? Is that the God in the Machine or something? Is that what I'm thinking of? Or are you thinking of Ghost in the Shell? Which is awesome. If anybody hasn't seen the original anime Ghost in the Shell, you should watch that, because that is super... In fact, have I even got that in here? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, I have. Well, look at that. Ghost in the Shell. There it is. If you've not seen this, and they did a remake, didn't they? Like a live action remake. One of the best animes ever, I would say. Best animes ever, I would think. I think that's a brilliant one. I must have watched the original 500,000 times. Oh my god, that's a lot of times. I bought the 4K HDR release. What, of the anime one? Not of the... what's the new one? What is the new one, the live action one called that they remade? Is that just called Ghost in the Shell? I thought that was pretty good as well, actually. I quite like the live action remake. I've seen that twice. It's not quite like the anime, but it's good. I think the anime's better. But the live action version of it is... I quite like it as well. It's just a little bit different. But yeah, Ghost in the Shell is awesome. And it's totally influenced The Matrix, isn't it? And like, if you watch The Matrix, it's just like, oh yeah, they totally did rip this off a bit. The live action is just called Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, and it's a good film. I thought that. I mean, it's really... I didn't read any reviews of it or anything, but I watched it. I thought, that's pretty good. When I watched it again, I thought, yeah, that is pretty good. It's just not... It's not the original one, but it's got all the same concepts and themes in it and stuff like that. So I quite like it. Right. I hope you nuked that level. I did not. I did not nuke that one. Right, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do it? They've given me 4 blockers. That might be a trap. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Could be just a trap. I mean, how am I going to get across here? Oops. Well, that didn't work out. Maybe if I build just a little bit back from there. Oh, this is the thing though. With this blocker here, I wonder if I blow him up. Is he going to destroy that bridge?
Oh, no.
No, he's not. Right. That was a mess. Oh, wait a minute. Is that metal? Can I not dig through that?
Oh, no.
I think this is metal. Make the first one build near the edge. The next one to block the rest. Did that. Keep the builder going to the top. When it goes back, start building to the right of the drop portal. When it goes back. Keep the builder going to the top. When it goes back, start building to the right of the drop portal. What's the drop portal? Oh, oh, I see what you mean. Hang on. Wait a minute. I don't know how that's going to help me. I don't know if you can walk on these or anything. I don't think you can. Anyway, let's just do this. I'm going to build from there. I think I'm going to hit that. I don't think I can dig through that, can I? If I can't, I think that's metal. It's got the bolts around it. Let me just check that before I do anything else. Right, I think... Is this metal? It's metal. Uh-oh. Right, so I can't go through that. I can go through this. Oh, but it's got the little gaps in it. That's a little nightmare. But I see what you mean. Like, you're saying build back that way. I can do that. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't think you can stand on that portal, can you? I don't think this is a real object in the world, if you know what I mean. I think maybe you should block there. Oh yeah, it's not a real object, this. We can go up there, go across to this one.
Oh no!
I think we build there. Here. We've got to pick the right lemming. Oh, I'm gonna end up with some similar problems here though when I get across here. Because there is a death place here. I've got a blocker that I can put here though. That's alright. Oh no! I've messed this up. No, this is what we're done. Oh, there was loads of lemmings there. Okay, so I don't think I've got anywhere near the amount of lemmings I need. But I think this might be the way to do it. Let's just check there's no surprises up here. There could be some surprises. There's the first surprise. Okay. No, that's what I thought was going to happen. Damn it. So is that going to be like the random chance thing that they've put in? Anyway, I think that might be the right way to do it. But not really.
Oh no!
Isn't the exit right on top of the portal? I don't know what you mean.
Let's go!
The exits are these two dogs' heads on the right. So, no. It's just you've got a choice of two exits, really. That's the difference. You've got a choice of exits. Go watch Memories 1995. The first part is pretty good in terms of AI technology. I don't know what that is. What's Memories 1995? Oh, it should be on Amazon Prime. The first one all the way to the top, then build from the right of the portal, dig through lines, build again, and dig through. Then build it from the right of the portal. Yeah. I think that's the digging through part is hard though because of these stupid lines. Anyway, I think I've got it. I think that was kind of it. Uh-oh, that might be a bit too close to the bridge. What do you think? I might start this again, because I think when I blow him up, that would have messed it up.
Oh no!
Oh, it wouldn't have messed it up. Okay.
Oh no!
Well, I've messed it up now. Let's do that again. Hope for your sake you nuked it. Ah, this time I did. Right, so that's going to be alright. Everything's going to be alright. I noticed they don't give you many climbers anymore because they're like they're the solution to everything. Like a climber up there would have solved this problem for me. Oh, he walks back to the... Oh, no, he doesn't. Oh, look, he's gone back in there. That's not going to help me, though. I thought when they finished building the bridges... What is it when they walk backwards? Is it when they hit their head? There's no way to get him to turn back there, is there? Damn. Damn you. Right, I don't want to take too long, because if I do want to have a chance at this, we've got to get going. This could be a disaster. Oh no, there's so many lemmings here. It's bound to end in death. It's good that they turned around there, that was quite cool. But how am I going to get across here without murder? Without the glorious murder of all these lemmings? It's just going to be a disaster. It's just a disaster. I mean, I could blow that guy. Oh no, if I blow that guy up, I could be in some similar trouble that I was in before. I just think I've got to... I don't know. I mean, I could block here now. Oh no, I can't do that, because then if I blow him up, it's all a disaster. I'm really not sure how to do this properly. Because building across here is what it wants me to do. Oh, but look at that. I've blocked when I didn't want to block. All the way to the top. That's not quite what you're doing. Oh, I see what you mean. Like if you go higher up. I don't know how that helps. It's difficult to explain lemmings in chat, isn't it? All the way to the top. Because I'm kind of like I'm done in now by the blocker. I mean, I can blow him up. My Amiga 2000 is rotting in shed? Or rotting in shad? I don't know what that means. Guess that the battery and caps are leaking. Probably. If there's a battery in there by now, it's probably leaking, and the caps have almost definitely leaked. The battery's going to be the worst thing, though. The caps can do some damage, but the battery is a murderer. The second set of stairs... Oh, it goes to the... Oh, you mean up there? Oh, I see. Well, I don't know how that... Well, how does that help? If the second set of stairs goes up there, how does that help? I mean, you can go all the way up there, but then what? I don't understand how that helps. because if I go up there, I could build up to that and dig across there. Still not sure how that helps because I've still got to dig. I've got to build up from here. I don't know why I would want to do that. I've somehow just got to get a few lemmings over here without murdering everything. I mean, maybe there's a better way. I suppose I can dig down there and go up like that. That's another way of doing it. Keep turning until the lemming turns around, then build right after the portal. Like I said, I don't know why though. I don't know why I would do that. I don't know what problem that solves. Like if I build a giant set of stairs up there and then I start building up there, I don't know why that helps. If you see what I mean. How does that help me get to the situation right now? I can dig here though, I've just realised. Oh, I can't, they've not let me dig down. Oh, wait a minute, I can dig this way and that way though. This I can do. I can do this. Oh, this isn't going to work. Let me just try it. Wrong way, guys. I think this is not working. Oh, it's because it's just walking off the screen down here. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I messed it up. If I could get to there. Oh, there's no way of getting across that, is there? Because it's got these gaps in it. It's got these microscopic gaps. That's not a good idea. Oh no. Yes, I know damage needs stopping. Guess I have to remove all of this. Not good with electronic repairs. They are still no repair. Well, all you need to do for now is, I mean, if it's already leaked, the damage has probably been done. But if you should probably just remove the battery at the very least. So if you've got a pair of little snips, you've got a pair of these babies, then if you can just snip the battery out. So that would be the best thing to start with, because if the battery hasn't leaked, you should snip it out and just get rid of it. Like snip the legs on the battery and just take it out of there. If it's already leaked, the damage is probably done, but at least you can stop it leaking more. It might have just started leaking, I don't know. Depends what kind of situation it's in. But just get the battery out. That's the first thing, and then it won't get any worse. I don't think it'll get any worse. So that would be the first thing. And you might stop it. You might have, if the battery's not leaked, you've stopped it from getting damaged. The capacitors will probably, they can damage the board, but they probably won't. I say probably, they can do it, but they might not. The battery will kill everything though. So snip it out. You could remove the caps have probably already leaked by now anyway, so it's up to you. I don't know. And you can have a look at Chris Edwards' restoration video about doing the caps if you at least wanted to remove them. But you do need tools to remove them. He cuts them out again with these things. He cuts the top off and then desolders them. So you need a soldering iron and a sharp pair of snips to get them off. And you got to be really careful, because that's where you can do more damage than there's already been done to the board by taking them out wrong. But the battery should be alright, because the battery, you just clip the metal legs and take it out. It's a long time machine. Well, you've had it for a long time. Yeah, it's probably already leaked. The capacitors, like I said, I think my Amiga 600, the capacitors had leaked, but it hadn't done any damage. This Amiga 1200, they'd leaked, but hadn't done any damage. And I got an Amiga 500 that's on my channel, that had a battery that had leaked into the expansion. That hadn't done much damage. In fact, it hadn't done enough damage to break anything, but it had leaked. Why don't you sell your Amiga 2000 if you don't use it anymore? or if you just want to keep it, restore it. Yeah, it's a problem, isn't it? Because some people don't want to let them go, and because it's theirs maybe, but also it will die on its own probably. Actually, the Amiga 2000, that's got surface mount caps in it, hasn't it? Am I right? I don't know. If that's got surface mount caps, then yeah, they go bad. But the battery's the worst bit. Just get rid of the battery. Get rid of the battery, and then it probably doesn't get any worse. That's all you need to do. In fact, that's what you should do with all your old computers that you've got right now. If they've got those, I was going to say lithium ion. What are they? They're not nickel metal hydride batteries. What are they? Whatever those batteries are that leak, they just leak. Get rid of them. Get rid. Right, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do it? You think I should build all the way up to the top? Oh, hang on, I'm reading the chat, not the... Oops, that's the wrong thing. Whoops. I wanted the big bridge builder there. But I don't know why I would do that. That's the thing, I don't know. There's no point in me doing something I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know why. I don't know why it would work, is the question. What does building all the way up to the top get me? I can build back this way and build up there. Is it so I don't have to use a blocker? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I'm not sure what's the point. I can't read the chat. They're all talking about leaky batteries and I can't read it while I'm doing Lemmings. I'll keep building anyway. But this portal is not a real object in the world. This is something you can't interact with. Going right past it. Oh, I think I maybe see what you mean. You mean, oh, I see what you mean. You mean go up to there so he turns back and then start building up. I get it now. Right. Oh, I'm going to stop. It's so I don't have to block. Is that what you were telling me? Right. I get it now. I get it. I get it. Right. That's what you were telling me. I was wondering, like, why would I want to build up there? That's what it is. I've still got this random chance thing that's going to happen here, though, haven't I? Oh, I might have built in the wrong place here. Maybe a little bit in the wrong place. Maybe not. But I think you're right. I think that's the way to do it. I see what you're saying now. It's building extra to avoid blocking. This is going to be a bit of a weird one. Oh, here we go. Got this thing going on. No! Oh my word. That is just evil. This thing's evil. It's just evil. I did build. If I'd have built in the right place there, though, that wouldn't have happened. Right, here we go. I'm a building. I've got 2 minutes left, though. Might have wasted too much time. And of course, there is the disaster that's going to happen with this thing in a minute. Oh, he's done it. No, he hasn't. Right. What am I going to get? Oh my god. What? I suppose... Oh well. Let's see if we can get them to the end anyway.
Oh no!
Actually, what I should do here is just build a bridge right there as soon as he gets there. Uh-oh. Oh, well, they're going back. No, I've not got enough time now. Damn. that would have been enough lemmings as well, I think. Oh, damn it. That would have done it. Oh, hang on, we've got 18 seconds. Is it going to be enough time? Oh, what? Why aren't they going... Oh, that would have worked. Oh, damn it. I've messed it up. Oh, that would have worked as well. I was expecting them to drop down there and they didn't. They didn't do anything. Damn. Anyway, that was going to work. That was actually going to work. Let me read some more comments before we carry on. Oh, hang on. Hang on. The ball mouse isn't the problem here. It's the... Right, here we go. Where am I up to? This is hard playing Lemmings and doing it. Oh, I've just done the wrong thing. I can't read the chat and do Lemmings. It just doesn't work. I've messed it up. Right, let me just read the chat. I don't because of remembering the games. I'm lazy. If the battery is leaked, then removing it isn't enough. The board needs neutralizing with acid and IPA to clean it. Once it's clean, you can assess the damage. That's true, but I think at least if you can... Well, if you don't know how to fix it right now, you could at least get rid of the battery. But yeah, you're right. You could put... it's alkaline though, isn't it? Not acid. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. Sorry, neutralizing with acid. So yeah, you could put acid on it, like vinegar or whatever, to clean it. But you need to make sure you get all the acid or vinegar off or whatever. But yeah, you could do that. But yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like whatever you can do with a pair of snips and a bottle of vinegar, it's quite a lot actually. So if you don't even have a soldering iron, if you've got a pair of these are like £2 on eBay. Buy a pair of these, snip the battery, pour some vinegar on, and then, you know, wash it off, pour some more on, let it bubble a bit, wash it off. And at least you'll stop the rot. So yeah, that probably is worth doing. The infamous Vartas are computer killers. Well, any old battery. Yeah, any old battery, except the lithium ones, which generally don't leak. The lithium coin cells don't seem to leak at all. I've never seen one leak. I don't think it's possible for lithium to leak, is it? Because it's not a liquid. So there, that's probably why. Maybe you can try building from the extreme left, the column to the top right. I don't know. I think I've got it now. I just need to get it right. I know how to do it now. I just need to... I'm going to nail it. No, it hasn't got surface mount capacitors. Oh, that's not bad then. I mean, my Amiga 500 is probably from the same era, isn't it? And I haven't recapped that. It's got normal capacitors in it, and they're still working fine. So they left it. They've not leaked. So there you go. Keeps a decent frame rate with all the lemmings blowing up. I remember the SNES version slowing down. It does slow down a bit, but they don't blow up all the lemmings at the same time in this game. They blow up some and then they blow up the next block. But it does get pretty slow. I can't understand repair. That's fine. You don't have to. And what I would recommend is if you don't understand how to repair, then don't attempt it unless you are willing to learn, because you'll do more damage than you would. I mean, the point of a repair is to make something better, but if you make it worse by repairing it, then it's not worth it. But you could at least do very simple things to stop it getting worse, and then at some point in the future you could hand it over to somebody who could repair it or whatever, or you could learn to repair it yourself. I can't do that. Don't even have a soldering iron. Like I said, you don't need a soldering iron to clip the battery out and pour some vinegar on and then wash it. You don't have a multimeter, well that's fine. All you need to do is clip the battery and guess the Amiga 2000 is doomed. It's not doomed, it can be fixed. It can always be fixed and it might not be broken, so there you go. Please find someone with the right equipment. Yeah, do it. Find somebody who can fix it for you, or I'm sure there'll be places that do the service for you, won't they? They'll do the recap. I don't know if they'll repair battery damage. I bet if you sent it to Chris Edwards in America, he'll do it for free eventually. He fixes stuff for people. He loves it. You know, another Amiga 2000 to be fixed. They can get quite tedious, but he's a master of it now. It's not the kind of repair a beginner should attempt on a loved machine, really. Plenty of scope for just wrecking the board. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend... I don't know. I'd recommend snipping the battery, and then if you're not any more confident, then that would be it. But I wouldn't recommend attempting a repair. You're going to need a multimeter and a soldering iron anyway to attempt to repair. But the chances are, if it has been damaged, there could be... Well, I've watched Chris Edwards repairs, and it could be... You look at it and think, there's no way he's saving this one. And he does, but it obviously takes him days or even weeks to save those boards. But they can be done. Can't be bothered. Good advice. How will I recognise the caps? Well... How will you recognise the caps? The caps are the big cylindrical items. They probably got Elna written on them on that particular one. I think they were Elna in the Amiga 500, but they could be all different brands. And they'll have some number of microfarads written on them. But like I said, I don't think they'll have leaked. I think the battery will have leaked though. Good evening, Retro JB. Good evening. And I'm going to do this now. Pretty sure. Pretty confident. I'm going to totally nail this. Totally nailed it. Just got to be aware of the 5-minute time limit. No, he went back. Oh, there's a little gap there. He's going to fall off that. For God's sake, what is he doing? This is... Right, there we go. Okay, did it. Finally did it. I might have wasted a lot of time doing that. But here we go. Building, building, building. I mean, the other way to do it was I could have built up from there, and then I would have got a lemming dropping on, and I could have done that. Oh, but then I still got the problem that they'll get lemmings stuck over here, which isn't what I want. So this is still working. It's still working. Right, about here, I think. Oh, have I done it too high again? Yeah, I've done it too high again. Hope we get enough. I've got enough bridges to do this. Hope so. Whew. Right, that works. When he's digging along the bottom, that works. Oh, he's made it. Right, I think I know how to do this. No! I can't win. I just can't win. It's ridiculous. Right, let's try this again, because I think this is what happened last time, and I did manage to kind of get them there. Maybe I should just let them fall in and block them. But there's so many lemmings. Each one of these is not one lemming. There's loads. There's 58 lemmings there. Oh no, this is just going to be a disaster, isn't it? Alright, how many did I get? Oh, 81%. Is that enough? That might be enough. I think this level... I don't know if this has worked or not. Should I cut all components and replace in order? I'm not about that. I don't know. I don't think that sounds like a good idea. I would suspect there's no point cutting all the components out if you don't have a soldering iron, because you can't solder them back. So you're definitely breaking it in that case. But I would say cut the battery out because it's going to leak.
Oh no!
But there you go. That's my opinion. No. Yeah, exactly. That's going to be expensive, but I love the machine. Cut all components and replace. Guess I'm doing that. Well, I would recommend practicing first. I think Tango the Cat might be trolling here. Please find someone that can solve your issue. If you're not skilled, please just find someone for you. Nervous doing this to a great machine. Yeah, I would be. I mean, honestly. I think when I learned to desolder the surface mount caps, I got an old... It's actually an old AGP graphics card, which I think are actually quite hard to get now. And I practiced on that. I took the caps off. They were surface mount though, actually. They weren't through hole. But either way, I practiced on that. I took the surface mount caps off and I put one back, and I took one off and put it back. And I made sure I could do it without destroying the board. But you have to remember that these motherboards are older and more fragile and weren't built as well as some of the stuff that you might practice on. So you have to be very careful of that. That's the problem. I did that level though. I did that level. Lemmings, simple graphics, but what amazing gameplay. You are right. This game is awesome. This was my first Amiga game. Wow. Was in the pack with my Amiga 600. Yeah, this is probably what this disc is here, actually. It's probably what this disc is, isn't it? Free with Commodore promotion pack. Is that the one you had? Is this the disc that you had? Maybe it has a leak. So you've not even checked to see if it's leaked. Well, maybe it hasn't. David Teller, just check YouTube for Amiga battery removal. Plenty on there, including my It's a Retro Thing channel. Shameless plug. There you go. It's a Retro Thing. Yes, that's the disc. Yeah, this is it. It doesn't work. This disc doesn't work. What a shame. But there you go. Amiga 2000. Save it. It can be saved. Even if it's been leaked all over and splurged by a battery, it can be saved. But you do have to be careful. Like I said, you don't do more. If you're going to fix it yourself, well, I'd say practice first. Like I said, when I got my Amiga 600, I got that out of storage and I recapped that myself. And that was my Amiga 600 from the 90s. But I took the risk and learned to do it myself. But I did do a lot of practicing first, to be fair. And I took it really slow. And I do have a soldering iron, so that helps. But prior to that, I didn't really know how to do it. But yeah, it just takes time. But battery leakage, I've not had much experience cleaning that up because I only had that A500 expansion board that had a little bit of battery leakage and it wasn't anything too serious. But I did neutralize it with acid. So there you go. Never got this far in Lemmings as a kid. Well played. It looks rather tricky. It looks rather tricky. We've done tricky. This is taxing. It's fun, tricky, taxing, and mayhem. This is taxing. I do remember playing some of the mayhem levels, and I remember them being a nightmare. I remember there was like one with like five exits or portals where the lemmings come out, and it's like, oh my god, what am I doing? So it gets a lot harder than this. I mean, I've done 2 levels this stream, which is pretty impressive, I think. So there you go. Amiga 2000's ground plane. Oh yeah, does that not help? Thank you for the advice. I'll do my best to work this machine. Thank you. Well, there you go. My advice would be, I don't know what my advice would be. Practice on something that you're not interested in before you start. Like an old motherboard or an old circuit board. Something like that. They should make somebody should make a PCBWay circuit board that's just for practicing like soldering and desoldering. So you should have like one of every component of type, and the surface mount caps and the big one and a little one and a through-hole one, and one with a big ground plane, and you should like solder them all on, and then you should desolder them all and solder them all back and see if you can do it without busting anything. But it would be a modern PCB, so it'd still be easier to do that than it would be on a old one, which you could really screw up. It's pixel plot. Great idea. Let's do it. Let's make a board that's just made for practicing not screwing up your motherboard. Right, I'm on level 6. I've done 2 levels, which is like so many levels, so many more than I thought I'd get through. Oh no, has this one got loads of traps in it? Compression method 1. Hopefully it won't have that broken, horrible music in it. I'm still too scared to touch my 3 Amigas that I have. Yeah, as long as you've got rid of the batteries though, haven't you? Your batteries and yours have gone. I remember you told me. There's no batteries in them, so you're probably all right. You're probably all right, I think. And what are your 3 Amigas? If you've got an Amiga 500, that's probably all right, because I've got an Amiga 500 that hasn't been recapped, and it's probably fine. No, it is fine because I'm using it. I've used it upstairs. And the 600s and the 12 ones are definitely leaked, but they don't. Well, this one had leaked. It hadn't done serious amounts of damage. So I think you might be all right. They don't have any batteries in to start off with. Yeah, the only one that can have it, you can have it on the expansion board. So sometimes they have them on the expansion board. And the Amiga 500 Plus has got it on the board as well, I think, has it? So if they don't have any and they're not even on the expansion boards, then you're probably 90% good. And the rest is just the caps. And like I said, the worst caps are the 600 and the 1200, which are just horrific. They just don't last. Cut all the caps out and replace and the battery check for corrosion on circuit. Great, I'll do that. Are you going to cut all the caps? Well, I'd be careful of that. But yep, I have 2 A500s. Possibly one is an A500 Plus and an A1200. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Does anybody know? The A500 Plus has a battery on the motherboard. Is that right? Or have I got that wrong? The A500 definitely didn't, but the A500 Plus, I think's got a battery on the board. Or maybe they're different, because sometimes, I don't know actually. There might be different versions of the A500 Plus. At least 2 of those are my Amigas. Oh right, you had from TJ. Well, that's good. So you've actually got 2 Amigas you had from a teenager. Back in the day, I had 2 Amigas, definitely. I had a 500 and a 600, and I had 3. I had 2 Amiga 600s and an Amiga 500, and I've only got 1 Amiga 600 left, and it's not the one with the hard disk, which I was disappointed to find. I must have sold the one with the hard disk to buy something else, like a PC probably. Oh my god, I sold an Amiga to buy a PC. So the Plus does have a battery on the board. A Varta, oh dear. The 500 Plus has a battery on the board. There you go. So you're saying yours doesn't have one, but the consensus is there might be one on the board. I'll give the same advice that I gave before, which is buy a pair of these for like £2 on Amazon and snip the battery out if it's still in there. These little side cutters. This is just a cheap pair of side cutters, but you should be able to snip that little battery out. Snip its little legs off and get rid of it. And just don't have a battery in there. I mean, I haven't got batteries in my Amigas. I don't really care if the date's right, to be honest. I mean, if you really care about the date, find a lithium coin cell battery replacement, but I mean, do you really care that the battery, the date's right in your Amiga? And you can set it anyway by hand if you want to. I love my Amiga 2000. The system rocks. I have never ever seen a big box Amiga, I'll be honest. I mean, I've seen pictures of them, but I've never seen a big box Amiga. Never saw one in a shop, never saw one in real life, never seen one anywhere. So there you go. I don't believe they exist. That's all I know. An A1200 would most certainly need a recap if it hasn't been done already. Yeah, I think so. The 600 and 1200 definitely need recapping because they generally. But this one I had hadn't been recapped, and it was leaky, but it wasn't. It was working, and it hasn't particularly damaged the board. The board's a little bit crusty in places, but it didn't do any serious damage. It took the silk screen off. The silk screen was starting to come off the board. Remember, as I was cleaning it, all the silk screen was just like falling off. It was all corrosion. I have a beaten up BBC Micro B also, but I doubt there's much chance of getting that one going. Oh, I bet there is. I bet you there is. It doesn't work. The BBC Micro B doesn't work. I bet you can get that going. I bet you that's easier to get going than a broken Amiga because it's all like really old school parts. So I bet you that's easier. It'll have old school memory chips that you can get. It'll have. I bet you it's old. I bet you it's so old school you can get it going. Yeah, and they're built like a tank. That is true. They didn't really skimp on the. I remember using them at school, and my dad brought one home every now and again because he was a teacher at school. In fact, that was the first computer I used was a BBC Model B. But yeah, they were like a tank. And I don't know if the keyboard's like super good. Probably is. I bet it's like designed to be hammered on by kids. OCS is for the normal people. ECS is for the elite. Well, I had both at one point. I think I had 500 and a 600, so I was both normal and elite. And I only got AGA recently because that's like it's a new thing, man. AGA, it's totally new. My Amiga is probably dead over 20 years without replacing anything. Well, the Amigas are pretty reliable actually. If they just hadn't put the battery in there, then they would have been more reliable. I mean, I think all the in fact, I bought that Amiga 600 off eBay, and that had a busted RAM chip, and I don't even know how they did that. How did they blow one of the RAM chips up? I have no idea. Do you think BBC Basic is still useful teaching language for children? I'm not sure. BBC Basic was the first programming language I ever used. I never actually did a lot in it, but it was definitely my introduction to computer programming. Because it was enough to show me that, like, well, I think this is the thing, like, computers back in the day, like those, you turn them on, they booted up in 1 second, and the first thing they did was said ready, and they showed you the basic prompt, and they kind of asks you to start typing some programming language in it. So if you think about it, maybe it's not basic that's useful for the programming language, for teaching, but actually it's the fact that it's a computer that literally all it does, if you don't tell it to do anything else, is it kind of starts up and says, please start programming me. And here's a language you can use, like start now and start programming. So that's like, there's the barrier to entry of programming is very low. Like you basically have to type a basic command to get the computer to do anything, as far as I'm aware, like load or whatever you'd have to do, I don't know, would probably be a basic command, wouldn't it? So maybe that's the thing that you need. It's not the basic itself that you need, it's just the barrier to entry of like getting something started and getting it going. Like I think that Scratch thing online is a bit like that. It's like go to a website and start plugging boxes together and programming things. It doesn't matter that it's a different language really. You're still learning the same concepts of like conditional statements and variables and stuff like that. So the concepts are the same, it's just the language is different. But yeah, I don't know. I think isn't Basic a bit weird though? It doesn't have the modern, like a lot of the modern things like else statements and stuff like that, I think. Is it? I can't remember now. I never did a whole lot in Basic. But it was, like I said, it was the miracle moment where I saw a Basic program and I was like, because like my dad just showed me, he just showed me how to like that, the the crappiest 2-line basic program where you print your name and it goes round. And he showed me that, and I was like, whoa, you can give the computer instructions and it can do stuff. That was it. That was just all it took for me to be basically hooked. It was like, yes, that's a good thing. You can get, computers can do things, and it could do it very fast. That was what I'd learned from that, is that you could instruct the computer to do things, it could repeat them, and it could repeat them incredibly fast. Even though Basic's technically incredibly slow, it's infinitely faster than you typing. That's, if you type that thing on the screen, like printing your name in a loop, it's infinitely faster than you doing that. So it's really fast. Like nowadays, it's insanely fast, but still back then, it could do things thousands of times faster than a human could do it. And it could repeat those things, which much better than a human could do it. So that was the thing. What's this? AGA's for the masters of the universe. Yeah, it probably is. AGA was the end of the Amiga. It was the last. Was it the last chipset? Pretty much. Though there was others, but they never came out. Talking of batteries, the BBC Master has a battery pack in that leaks too. Oh no, does it? Oh, the BBC B, you'll probably be fine. Right, okay. No batteries in the BBC B? Right. I didn't know the BBC had batteries in it. I didn't know it had a clock in it, so yeah. Is this a learning to repair Amiga's stream? Is that what you're saying? No, this is just Lemmings stream, but it happens to... It's Lemmings, it's not learning to repair Amigas. Well, we've talked a lot about repairing Amigas and video outputs and stuff like that. I wrote loads of games in BBC Basic, all lost to time. Yeah, I wrote a whole like machine code program for the Amiga, like a platform game. I never really finished it, but I learned a lot doing it, and I learned how to program doing it. And that's why I got my Amiga 600 back out, because I thought, it must be on the hard disk that's in there. And I got the 600 out, and there was no hard disk in it. I must have sold it. So all that program I wrote, whatever it was, is lost to time. It probably would have been terrible code, but I wanted to see if it was terrible. Just to find out what I was like back then. But yeah, it definitely took me a long time to do very little. But I did get sprites on the screen, got them moving. I got some scrolling platforms. It did have a little bit of collision detection. I never really got very far, but I got... It's a long way if you think about it, because back then the computer didn't help you very much. It was like you had to do everything, didn't you? You had to get the whole thing booted up and get the screen mode running and all that kind of stuff. Is there a channel that can teach me step by step to repair my Amiga? I don't know, but Chris Edwards Restoration does a lot of stuff, but it's quite hard to follow sometimes because he goes through quite quickly. But he's got loads of videos where he is repairing Amigas. If you want to learn to repair an Amiga, you could watch that. You could watch, well, just Google repair my Amiga. Watch some Adrian's Digital Basement. He repairs a lot as well. He's repaired a couple of... He's repaired battery damage on his Amiga 2000, so you can get to see him do that. I still use BBC Basic 40 years after learning it at school. What do you use it for, though? That's the question. Wasn't the guy who designed the first ARM chip wrote the specification for the ARM chip in BBC Basic? So all the ARM chips that you've got on your mobile phones were basically born from BBC Basic. And he actually found the code not that long ago, and he's donated it. He found the disk with the BBC Basic on it for the spec for the ARM chip, and he donated it to a museum, I think. So yeah, that was quite cool. BBC Basic was one of the fastest basics there compared to the others, and you could also do inline assembler. That is crazy. That is absolutely bonkers. But it's a bit weird, isn't it? Because they might as well let you do inline assembler, because the kind of like poke thing, if you think about it in BASIC, the poke thing is just basically saying, oh, you can just do anything. You just write to any memory address. It's like, well, if you can do that, why can't you do some inline assembler? But it's pretty cool. Yeah, 10 print test. Go to 20. 20, go to 10. Test. It only printed it once. You got to press break to get out of that. Acorn Rocks, big fan here. BBC Basic is built into RISC OS. So you could get a RISC distro for Raspberry Pi and start coding. It might be a good way to start coding. I just don't... I mean, it probably is. But but I'm not really sure. I mean, I'd honestly think, it sounds a bit weird, but it might be better to start someone with just plain C or something, because everything's written in C. I don't know. I kind of feel like, I don't know what's the best language to teach somebody, but maybe not C. I don't know. But you can definitely do a very simple program in C, and it's not very hard to learn. And you probably wouldn't need another language, really, eventually. The language you need is the one that your platform supports, and that's the problem with languages, is that it's kind of like, well, I need to write a program for Mac OS. Oh, it has to be written in whatever that stupid language is that Apple made up. C, what's it called? C something. I can't remember now. It's not C sharp. Or was it C sharp? I can't remember, but it'd just be like, well, you've got to write it in this language. So it's like, well, that's the one you've got to learn then, isn't it? So it's kind of a bit like that. But I suppose the language for learning, I don't know. But like I said, because that's the one I learned originally, but I didn't learn much of it. You could probably, I don't know, you could start by learning anything. You could start by learning machine language, or you could start by learning C, or you could start by learning BASIC. I think the principles might all be the same. But I think what you want when you're learning is you want the ability to, you want there to be no barrier to entry, and you want to be able to see some results quickly. And that's what BASIC did, because BASIC, you could get stuff on the screen, you could print text quickly, but you can do that in C with the standard library. So it's like, I don't know, it's probably just as easy to do that with a C program as it is to do it with something else. But then you've got the whole thing of like trying to explain to somebody like, oh, but you've got to put it through a compiler, and that's got to compile machine language, and then you've got to do this. It's like, oh my God. But I don't know. Somebody else decide what's the best. Objective-C, that was it. Objective-C, you're right. So but the language, when it comes to actually learning a language, the language you need to learn is the one that your platform supports. So learn that one. Yeah, that's going to be your problem, isn't it? So if you were on the BBC, and I suppose the BBC, technically you could program in machine language, but if you're on the BBC and you didn't know how to program in machine language because you didn't have a compiler, well, you'd have to program in BASIC, wouldn't you? So that would be the right language to do on your platform. Sophie Wilson. Who was Sophie Wilson? Was she was the designer of BASIC, was she? Something. A friend of mine has been following developments of, what's that? AOZ Basic. AOZ Basic, I don't know. Made by the guy who made Stos and Amos. All right. JavaScript would be a good start. Loosely typed and has loads of online resources. It could be, but isn't it also like not very standardized? And the loose typing is, I don't know. That's another thing. It's like, do you go straight in with the loose typing and then or do you go straight in with the less loose typing? Because that's another thing that I find a bit weird. I kind of like the loose typing, and then some languages are like, I don't like the loose typing. So I don't know. Because that can cause lots of people confusion when they loosely type and it's all just makes a variable and it's all nonsense. That's so a 16-bit comment. I want to learn programming in Amos, but a complete inbox set not long ago. Should be fun to learn. Well, yeah, that's quite good. Yeah, and Amos is a weird one, isn't it? Because technically you don't need to learn that to make something on the Amiga, but it probably just makes it easier to do that. But yeah. My New Year's resolution was to learn to code, so I spent 3 months learning HTML 3.2 on my Amiga, and now I'm working through old C89 in 1 month course book. It's been fun. I think the best thing to do if you want to learn to code is to not learn to code, but to pick a project to make something and just code that in however you can do it. So don't say I'm going to learn how to do for loops and structures and arrays and all this kind of stuff, and just say, well, I'm going to make a program that, you know, computes the Fibonacci sequence, and just do it in whatever language you've got, and forget about, and then what you'll do is you go, well, you'll just kind of have to work out how to do it, and you'll have to work out the concepts that you need to do it. So you need to have a goal in mind, and you can set yourself bigger and bigger goals of like eventually it'll be okay, I want to make a simple game, or I want to make a something that can do my home finances or something like that. Good night, all. Take care. Thank you. Good night. Please go back to the game. I'll be okay. I will. We're looking at a screen of just the title screen, aren't we? Oh, we don't even know what this level is yet, do we? Amos Professional is really great. Spent my youth programming games and demos in it. I went back to Blitz Basic 2 after 25 years break, but now I'm writing C on my Amiga. Yeah, I want to try that. I want to see what it was like to write C on, not like write an Amiga program in C, but write C on the Amiga. Because I don't know what the compilers are like about then, but they did have C, and there is a C++ compiler for the Amiga as well, so it'd be interesting to see what that's like. I think I played this. Oh no, there's 4 exits. Right, we've played this level before, but what has changed? Well, they haven't given me climbers and... Well, no one's going to instantly die. Oh, hang on, there's a squisher down here, isn't there? Is there a squisher down here? Let's have a look what happens. Yep, there's your squisher. Well, they're all dead. So, let's see what else we can do. Uh-oh. Are they got the arrows on going that way? Why can I not? Okay, so you can do it. It was just a bit random. Right, I wonder if it's death here of them falling. Do you think this is death? Oh my god, it is. Right, I've just killed a lot of lemmings. So, how am I going to do this? I don't know. I'll tell you what, I've got 3 exploders though. I wonder if you can explode through the metal down here. Let's try this. Oh, can I dig down? I can't dig down. Oh, I can. I can dig down once. Let's just try this. This might work. I just want to see if I can... You can blow up the metal in this game, can't you? I think. I don't know. Let's just see if we have... If we can't get through that with 1 exploder, then maybe it's not worth it. No, it didn't blow up the metal. I thought it did. Okay, that's not got me anywhere. Let's try again. I don't even know how I'm going to do this one. Lattice C was good. It was loads of discs, and I had no hard disk. Oh right, okay. I think they did C++ as well, didn't they? I used to program and assemble it on the C64. Learned it from one of the founders of IO Interactive. He was also a member of the demo group. Kefren's demos were cool. Hello, Khaled and chat. Kefren's made some cool demos. Well, it's hardcore. Right, we've got... Oh, we've only got to save 60%. Right, let's try... Let's block there, just to start with, because we know they're going to die if they don't. I've got 5 of these guys, but the problem is... What do I have to do to stop them dying down here? And if I build up there, they're still going to die. So, I've got to get these lemmings down here without death. That's the bit I'm not understanding. I don't think I can go underneath this time, can I? I don't know how to do this one at all. . 'Cause Not really giving me a lot either, have they? In fact, I've got no bridge builders. I didn't even realise that. Maybe I do have to go through these traps down here, but why? How do I... Oh, hang on a minute.
Oh no!
I can't get through this trap. That's not going to help me. Whoa. Oh, but they got through. Oh no, there's loads of squishers. Right, let me start this again.
Oh no!
I get the feeling that I can't go this way, even though it looks like the right way to go. There's definitely slow down when they're blowing up. They made Desert Dreams one of the most famous Amiga demos. I love that demo. Watch it quite often. I can compile C++ 17 on the Amiga. You can? What? What compiles C++ 17 on the Amiga? C++ 17? Is that even a yeah, it is a thing, isn't it? It was 11. Did they go 11, then 17, then they're doing 20? You can compile C++ 17. I suppose GCC supports it. Yeah, but is that GCC supports it? That compiler isn't... Is that compiler actually run on the Amiga? Oh, but you mean it compiles for the Amiga. So GCC compiles C++ 17 for the Amiga, but not on the Amiga. It compiles it on the PC, does it, or something? Don't build the second bridge straight away. I can't build any bridges. I don't think I've got any bridge builders.
Let's go!
Yeah, I can't build bridges. I'm gonna have to... I feel like I need to use that. I feel like I can... I don't know. I'm just gonna try things, because there might be something that I'm missing here. Like this. Oh, that didn't work. If I dig that one pixel off the bottom, then... Oh, they all get squished. Yeah, because last time I did this level, I was able to dig through there. But now I can't, because they will fall to their deaths. And I can definitely use these 4 things to get these guys out of here. One way or another. Like this. But that just... Maybe it's a case of, like, safety in numbers. Uh-oh! I didn't mean to do that. I think I know what to do.
Oh no!
I've got an idea. This might not work. So yeah, for the Amiga, not sure if there's a native version of GCC for compile. There might be. Yeah, I was just wondering. I was just thinking it might be interesting to compile C on the Amiga, but yeah, I know what you mean. So GCC compiles. Yeah, for the Amiga. That's amazing, isn't it? In fact, that wasn't... I saw the talk with the guy who did that VS Code thing, and that they were going to drop support for that on GCC, I think. They were going to drop support for the 68,000 completely, because they just didn't have time to update some code that needed updating. And I think somebody just paid them some money and said, oh, okay, we'll give you some money if you want to keep that up to date. So they did it, and now it still supports it. So it's like, so 68,000 lives on, even though, like, they've not made one for decades. They still can compile for it. Yeah, pack them all together and send them through the squishers. That was my idea. Pack them together and then send them through the squishers. And it's all about what do you call it? It's all about just... It's all about the numbers. So I need to block here, I think. Like that. These guys... Oh no. There you go. Oh no! And you get so many chances at this. Ah, it's done! Damn you. Oh, probably should have dug down there actually and gone. That would have been easier. Right, that's a mess.
Oh no!
Messed that up. Oh, I could have done. Could I have done that? No, I've run out of sideways blockers. I think I know how to do this more reliably. Hang on. Oh no. I think I have messed it up again. Yep, that's a mess. Right.
Oh no!
I'm just trying something out. Let it rain lemmings, yep. Oh, you see, sometimes it does blow the metal up. Oh, look. There's a weird thing under there. Oh, that's the squisher. That is the squisher. Right, here we go. There we go, that's going to do it, I think. Yeah, look at that. Oh no, he didn't. He didn't continue. Okay, I've got it. So hopefully when he blows up, that guy won't put a hole through the floor. But yeah, we're just going to pack all the lemmings together and send them through the squish. Because there's no way I can send them over that right hand side. That's what I did in the previous level thing. Come on guys. Squish all together. Squishy squishy. Right. Here we go.
Oh no!
Oh no. Right, we got 45 left. It can only squish one, can't it? There we go. It's a ridiculous level if that's the case. Oh, that was enough, wasn't it? Yeah, that was enough. Whoa, with the crazy disk drive. Yeah, pack them together and send them through to squishers. Right, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I've done 3 levels though. I'm on level 7. I need to remember that. Level 7 on taxing. Done 3 levels. Is it 3 I've done? Oh no, what's this? Oh, this is probably a level I've done before as well. Oh no, it's a you can only lose 2 lemmings. So this is going to be next week's problem. Oh, they're giving me 1 climber this time. Oh no, I don't like the look of this. Is there a secret exit somewhere, do you think? Well, this is next week's problem. The needs of the many outweigh of the few. Yeah, they do. They did in that case. Let's stick a few mods on before we end. Well, that was good. That was good. I did 4, 5, and 6 on Lemming. I did 3 levels. We finished this by next Christmas at this rate. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's definitely got a lot harder, Lemmings. It's good though. It's really good. These are quite. I think Mayhem. It might be the one that I'll never do Mayhem. Definitely didn't do all of Lemmings back in the day. So that was a thing. So let's stick some more of these tunes on. What did we have before? Let's put Ghouls and Ghosts and Gods on. And Mario. I don't know what's in the rest of these. Let's put some of these on that we put on last time. I like the Ghouls and Ghosts tune. It's a shame the game's rubbish on the Amiga. I don't even know when this stuff's from. Oh, how'd you select all? There we go. Don't forget Christmas Lemmings level 2. I did those. I did Christmas Lemmings at Christmas, didn't I? Didn't I do Christmas Lemmings? With the Christmas puddings? Last time I joined your stream, you had longer hair. I cut my own hair, that's why. I've started cutting my own hair. I don't know why. It's a thing I do now. You know, a lot of people started cutting their own hair during the pandemic. Well, I waited till the pandemic was over and then I started cutting my own hair. So there you go. Yeah, I sometimes don't do a great job of it yet because I'm still not very good at it. But I'm trying to work it out. It's like recapping your Amiga. You have to just work it out how you're gonna do it. But you need to practice for. Oh, you cut your own hair as well. Well, there you go. There you go. But I only started doing it recently because I figured, what the hell? It's not. I'm not really the best. It's actually the problem with cutting your own hair is that you've got to. It's hard cutting your. It's hard cutting hair, but then cutting your own hair is even harder. So there you go. It's like a double problem. Like a microphone head. Yeah. So yeah, cut your own hair. That's what I did. I went to Boots and I bought a pair of scissors and I was like, right, I'm doing this. I like how you mentioned Christmas, then I clicked back to Xmas Amiga show. Yeah, I did do it. I've completely forgotten the levels, but they weren't that hard if I remember. But yeah, I did the Christmas ones. I did Christmas, didn't I do Christmas cannon fodder as well and stuff? Just did that whole Christmas disc. Christmas fodder. Oh, and there was Fire and Ice as well, which was like a Christmas version of that, wasn't it? Let's put the disc in. Stop it from making the ticking noise. When are you live streaming the Stag series? What's the Stag series? I don't know what that is. Is that a joke that I should have got? Anyone read Amiga Addict? I've got one issue of it. I've had one. Well, my brother found one issue of it in a shop and he gave it to me. And it's alright. It's amazing that there's actually a Amiga magazine. I've got it in print. Unbelievable. But the issue I've got is just full of like the cover page and the cover story is just is all about Amiga accelerators. And I was talking about those last week, saying how weird it is that lots of people just accelerate their Amiga but then don't do anything with it. So it's weird. It's one of those things where it's like, get your Amiga to go faster. It's like, really? I mean, it's like a 35-year-old computer. Even if you sped it up by 100 times, it would be insignificant compared to the speed of a rubbish laptop. So it's almost pointless if you think about it. Unless you do want to do something with the Amiga that needs more speed. Oh, you don't know that one then. Early erotic GIFs on disc. I don't think YouTube would allow whatever that is anyway. But yeah, has anyone out there accelerated the crap out of their Amiga? And if you have, what did you do with it when you did it? Like this one, I just accelerated it. I basically did what I wanted to do with it, which was stick more memory in it because I was playing these mods and they wouldn't work. And I put an SD hard disk in, but not an SD card because I wanted it faster, but just because I wanted a hard disk, and I don't like the unreliable old hard disks. I had a hard disk in my Amiga back in the day, so this is like modelling a bit like what I had. PyStorm, yeah. Well, I suppose that's fair because if you're doing PyStorm or whatever, then it's just I don't know. Is it fair? I don't know. But yeah, you've accelerated the crap out of it. Whatever. But what did you do with it once you accelerated it? That's the question. I want to speed up my A1200 with a TF1230 just to see 4D Sport. Oh, that's it. I think Yeah, 4D Sports Driving run faster. There you go. So if as long as you've got a use for it, do it. Do it. I have a TF330 for my CD32. See, I don't think the CD32 was even designed to be sped up, was it? But people did it. I mean, it is amazing that people are doing it. Let's put it that way. People are speeding up their Amigas to just unbelievable speeds, but still unbelievably slow compared to any other computer. So I would say don't do it unless you've got a use for it. I don't really have that much use for it. Like, everything's running fine. I'm even running in 4-color mode and everything here. So everything's pretty good. I only play mods and I play games. And I did a bit of bars and pipes, and I've got dev pack up there. So it'd be interesting to see a really big project compile slowly on dev pack. But even then, the 1200's twice as fast as the Amiga I had when I was a kid. So there you go. For watching the Frontier intro, yeah. I just see a lot of YouTubers just do the they just speed it up and then they just do a benchmark. And it's like, well, okay, your benchmark's faster, but why has that helped you? I'm running Caffeine OS on the 500 Plus, really cool. I don't know what that is, Caffeine OS. Oh, can you hear the music coming out of my headphones? It looks like it's picking up the mic. This is all mostly coming out of one ear, this music. But yeah, to be honest, it's cool that all the people do all this stuff with the Amiga. I mean, I think this memory upgrade that I've got in here is a modern one. It's not an old one. I've got, actually, the two things I have got for my Amiga 600, I've got two old 1 megabyte memory upgrades, and neither of those work. Am I a purist? A bit, I would say. I think the thing about these old computers is you are using them because they are old. So by trying to make them like modern, I think it kind of defeats the point. Like, if I want a modern computer, I can just, well, the laptop that I'm streaming on here is a modern computer and it's amazing. So I'm using this because of the, like, even the floppy drive is just, it's just fun. There's no computers with floppy drives anymore. So even having a CD drive in your computer now is almost like retro, isn't it? I don't have any CD drives in anything anymore. In fact, the last laptop I got rid of still had a CD drive and it's gone now. And I never used it. So even having a CD drive would be so retro. Like, I'm going to play a CD. Do people play CDs? They're like, I'm going to have a retro party. We're going to play CDs and use retro computers. I mainly use my TF330 to have an ID port and the ability to connect a keyboard to it. Upgrading the memory is more useful. Yeah, I think it is. I think having the fast RAM in this has been useful. And it's sped up the computer as well, actually. But yeah, you couldn't really, like, a lot of these mods, like some of these mods that you play on here, they are quite large, and if you want to play them, they just won't play. Not this one though. This one's only 116 kilobytes. This will play on anything. Let's try the next one. Let's see if we can get one that's so this one's 210 kilobytes. But some of these mods, like a megabyte, you're just like, oh, I can't listen to this. I have no means to put a CD-DV drive in my PC. It has a glass front. Had to get an external USB one, so you had to get one with USB. Yeah, but that's the thing. They're not even building them to have that anymore, are they? Like, the ability to even have a CD or a floppy drive on the front is kind of gone now. No, they don't really need it. I mean, I think the slots are still there on the computer I've got, but there's nothing in them. But yeah, DVD. In fact, the laptop I've got now is no longer has a CD drive in. That's amazing, isn't it? The CD drive is a thing of the past. I think once you could install Windows from a USB stick, that was the beginning of the end, wasn't it? On a side note, cassette tape is making a comeback after 20 years. Audio cassette tape is that. I still have some audio cassette. This is the funny thing. I've still got some of my old audio cassette tapes. I can't remember what they are, but I've got a few. But I don't have a cassette player, apart from a Commodore 64 cassette player. So yeah, there's a cassette player down there. But it's a Commodore 64 cassette player, so you could mod that to play cassettes, but I don't have any way of playing cassettes. New use of my Walkman. I used to have, like, back in the day, I actually owned a couple of Walkmans, and like a cheap one and a slightly more expensive one later on. They cost a lot of money back then. It took me a while to save to get them, but I used them a lot, and I think eventually they broke. I think I had a cheapish one, like it was a Sony Walkman, but it was a cheap one that didn't have like rewind or something. And then later on I got a slightly fancier one that was smaller and it had auto reverse. Whoa, on a Walkman, can you believe it? And it had a graphic equalizer on the front, like a 2-band graphic equalizer, I think it was. It was amazing. I used that all the time and the sound quality was really good. I quite liked it. It'll be the reason why I'm deaf in my 60s, because I used that when I was a kid, probably. But I don't know where those Walkmans went. They probably got thrown away at some point. I don't remember what happened to them. I've modded my Walkman. It's now an MP3 player and an SD card for storage. There you go. So you've done the thing that I said about, like, with the Amiga. It's like, well, if you're going to have this old stuff, it should be the old stuff to enjoy it. But you've totally turned it into a modern piece of equipment. But if it was broken anyway, and you did something with it, you know, that's funny. It's like, yeah, I've turned it into an LCD YouTube player or something like that. But yeah, I suppose the mobile phone has killed a lot of that kind of technology, hasn't it? There's no need for the Walkman anymore. In fact, I did have for quite a while, until just recently, a little Sony memory stick Walkman. It was actually said Walkman on the front. It wasn't a fake. It was an actual Walkman. It was a 2 GB memory stick Walkman. I used to use that all the time because the battery lasted. The battery was just ridiculous. It would last. You could play for like 3 weeks with it. It was insane. It was only 2 GB, but that could still store a lot of music. And it only went away recently because I accidentally left it in my pocket in the washing machine, and that totally killed it. Killed the battery. The battery was starting to get a bit bad anyway, but it had lasted for a long time. I knew it was wrong because the washing machine was on, and I looked in the washing machine, and I could see a light in the washing machine. There was a light on, and I looked, and it was like, what is that? And I realised it was my little MP3 Walkman, and the backlit had come on permanently, and the screen was blank, and I could see this light going around in the washing machine. I was like, no, it's my Walkman, and that was it. I let it dry out, but it didn't work, and it seems very hard to open. I don't think I'm going to repair it. I've been coding for Amiga while watching this. Given up coding for modern platforms. There you go. Well, you know, whatever floats your boat, you got to get something in. I'd love to code a game for the Amiga, but I just think it'd be too much of my time and I'd never get it finished, so I don't start it. I have actually messed around, like getting some stuff on the screen and stuff like that, but I think it would take up so much of my time and I would never get it done. So I don't want to start something that I would never get done. If I could plan out a game or something that I know I could finish in a certain amount of time, like I didn't do a lot of it, but it just, I don't know, it'd be quite fun to do something like that. Yeah, rip my Walkman. I'm terrible. I don't have the cash or space to collect all the old games, etc. So my wife got me a GameCube, and the next day I modded that with a Raspberry Pi Pico. So you're doing all the things I said not to do. I love the way your wife got you a GameCube. That's pretty cool. And you're like, oh, here, honey, I've got you a GameCube. And the next day you're like, I've turned it into an MP3 player. But, you know, whatever. Still got my mini disc Walkman. Oh, do you know what? I gave a mini disc Walkman away. But I had one of those as well, actually. I used mini disc quite a lot as well, actually. I forgot all about that. That was quite cool. The quality was really good. Like the mini disc player, the Walkman, the quality was excellent. It was way better than MP3 at the time. MP3 sounded garbage, but mini disc Walkman sounded really cool. I've still got some mini discs, and now I don't have a mini disc player. But that's a dead format as well, another Sony dead format. There are some nice libraries out there to handle all the hardware stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. I think if I was going to do it, I'd have to like cheese my way through as much of it as possible for the time constraints. But I'd also have to get good at doing art, and I'm not very good at that. So that'd be a problem. So yeah. I know somebody did a board game recently. I saw them on a video, and they did all the graphics in Deluxe Paint. But they actually said Deluxe Paint was really good. They did a pixel art board game. So it's a real board game, not a computer board game. But it had like pixel art, like stuff, cards and things like that. And they did it all in Deluxe Paint. Oh yeah, somebody made D-Paint. Was it in Python? I haven't had a look at it, but I saw somebody posted a thing and said, someone's made D-Paint in Python. I was like, what? But I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. I think it was Python, wasn't it? Yeah, Python. It was Pygame, which is just Python, really. So yeah, somebody remade D-Paint in Python. But I suppose that's the thing. If you look at D-Paint, D-Paint's pretty good, but by today's standards, you probably wouldn't be that hard to make a program that did a lot of that stuff. Probably be harder because you've got to palletize things when they're not really palletized and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool that somebody did that. One of my favorite Amiga programs was the Adventure Game Creator. I think it was called CAG, C-A-G. I invested so much time into writing games using their custom scripting language. Wow. Is this? There are adventure game creators now, though, aren't there, that you can get? They're not Amiga ones, but just in general. Kept me out of trouble when I was 12 or 13, and then when you were 14, that was it. You were like back in stealing cars again. Oh, this is one of these rave ones. Not sure about the rave. There was a lot of rave in this playlist. Harsh. Sorry. What is it doing, this song? I was a paperboy and I stole a bottle of milk once. Well, I did papers as well. That's when I used to use the Walkman the most. I used to listen to my Walkman all the time when I was delivering papers. Because it'd be really quiet in the morning, there'd be nobody around, and it'd just be you delivering the papers and listening to music. Can't even remember what you used to listen to, really. Oh, so this Hoffman thing, this is actually that Hoffman who's on YouTube, isn't it? I was wondering about that. He seems to like techno, though, or like rave or whatever. Once 14, back to piracy. Right, it's the bottle of milk was the gateway to piracy. It's totally the gateway. Can't believe it did 3 Lemmings levels. That's a lot of levels for me on taxing. So I'll tell you what I've been getting into recently. I think I've said this before, but watching the Computer Chronicles they're all on YouTube. They're actually on archive.org if you want to download them. But I've got into watching all the Computer Chronicles, which I think is just awesome. Looking at all this old, just because it's a show that's basically, it is actually chronicling computer technology like through the ages. It's really quite cool. Like I've been watching 1984 playlist, and they've just shown, they had a guy from Sony on, and he was showing they were talking about Laserdisc and the compact disc, and they were showing Laserdisc and storing stuff. And the guy from Sony was on in 1984 going, oh, we've got this CD thing, and this is really cool, and this is coming out next year, and you can store like 550 megabytes on this and stuff like that. And it was like, that stuff was like being shown on there in 1984. People were coming on and showing these ridiculously advanced technology things. That it all appeared there first. One guy's got a laptop. They've got like laptops and portables. They're all really terrible, but like if it was been done, it was there first. And sometimes it's like 10 years before you really saw it come out. And sometimes they get it totally wrong. Like one guy was on the last episode I watched. He was like, "I've made this portable computer. It's brilliant, and it's the good thing about it is it's got a 5 1/4 inch floppy disk in it." And everyone's like, "Really? That's the best thing?" Because 5 1/4 inch floppy disk was out at the time, and the guy sitting next to him is like, "Well, we've done ours, and we've got a 3 1/2 inch floppy disk in because that's what everybody wants." It's like, yeah, okay. So sometimes it's even really bad. It's a great series. I've watched most of them. What a great history the computers have gone through. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like, I never really realised, but that whole time, that period of time from like, the 70s through to wherever, like 2010 or something, was actually like the golden age of like computing, and it was changing so rapidly because it was all finding its feet. Like, just people didn't know how to make video games, and they were learning, and people that, you know, I didn't even realize this, but watching the show now, I should have known this, but they're all using the IBM 5150, the original IBM, and the one that came after, and I never really thought the original IBMs didn't come with a mouse. Of course they didn't come with a mouse, because the mouse kind of wasn't really a thing back then. So those computers, just, you controlled them all with a keyboard, you just didn't have a mouse. It seemed weird to buy a computer now without a mouse. But back then, that's just what you did. And then the Apple Mac comes out in 1984, and they're like, here's a mouse. Everybody use the mouse. Here's the graphical interface. And everyone was like, oh, maybe we should do that. That's really cool. Because those computers just look so hard to use. 43 next month. What's 43 next month? I'm like Mr. Incredible. Life starts at 40, or is that 50? I'm not, sorry, no. Life just starts. That's all you know. Finished the recap on my A1200 and working great. Good news. That's another A1200 that isn't going to die for another 35 years. Great job. Exactly. I had an Auric 1 in the day. Auric 1? I'll have to say, I really don't know what the Auric 1 is. I remember having one of the first optical mice. You needed a special metal pad to use it. Oh, I think I saw a thing with that. Yeah, there was an optical. Yeah, you needed a metal pad, and then right after that came out, didn't Microsoft come out with that original? Oh, have I even got one? I think I've got one in here somewhere. Microsoft came out with just their first optical mouse, didn't they? And that was the end of it all, because it was like, this just works on anything and it's amazing. And it was like, oh, okay. And then everybody just used that for ages. How young am I? I am 47. And I'm not grey, and I don't dye my hair. There you go. That just didn't happen. Grey hair just didn't happen to me. I don't know why. Go figure. How much is a recap? How much? I don't know. It doesn't. If you do it yourself, it only costs all the price of the tools and the few pounds for the capacitors. I think it was called a Boeing mouse. My whole beard is silver now. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really. I've always wondered this. I have not gone grey. Right, this is my natural hair colour. I'm 47, and why is my hair not grey? Aren't you supposed to go grey and it makes you look wiser? Hasn't happened. I'm going bald, but I'm not going grey. So there you go. Cheap if you go to Mouser and order the bomb from there. Yeah, I just bought a recapping kit for my Amigas because it's just easier, because someone's just, it's more expensive, it's like £5, but whatever. It's like someone's done all the work of collecting the caps together for you. No stress, yeah, that must be it. No stress, keep your hair. It's got to be just DNA, hasn't it? It's nothing to do with stress. Nothing to do with it. I mean, my hair is, I'm definitely, like, it's definitely disappearing on the top. There used to be hair in here. There did used to be hair there. It's going. But it's not gone grey. So, what are you going to do? Closing in on half a century here. Still feeling young. Congratulations. 50 is the new 20, 30, I don't know. I started going grey when I was 25. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that go grey really young. Some people go bald really young as well. It's really weird. I used to think when I was a kid that as a man, what happened was you grew up, you got old, and then you went bald and grey, or bald, grey, bald, or both. So you were young, and then you got really old, and then it happens. But then what I realised was that people start going grey and bald at all kinds of ages, and it's a very slow process that happens over time. So I don't understand it. I don't understand, and I don't know how it works. I've been going grey for a while now. Well, there you go. Maybe it's a side effect of Amiga purism. Keeps you young. Yeah, you got to keep it the way it is. you've got to keep things the way they are. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm young, but I would say I'm not great. That's all. That's all I can say about it. I envy those who go bald on themselves. I have to trim my head out. Oh yeah. I mean, well, yeah. Do it. Do it. Or as somebody said it to me, the only person who cares about your hair is you. Everybody else doesn't give a shit about it. It's like nobody ever looks at anyone's hair. It's only you that cares about it. You look at it in the mirror, you style it, and you colour it and you cut it, but no one else cares. It's kind of true. Like you think about it. The person who pays the most attention to it is the owner. Unless you've got like, if you watch that Computer Chronicles, there's some really bad mullets in that and stuff. You do pay attention to those. My parents died when I was 23. Oh, that's a shame. And they went grey early. They went grey early, guys. Just saying, start watching your purism. To take out on that pie store. Well, I don't think you can really tell by looking at your parents. Sometimes it's just different. Do you need to change the kick ROMs to use a hard drive in the 1200? I'm not sure actually. I don't think so. But mine are 3.2s anyway. There is something about one of the hard drives in the older kick ROM, isn't there? Is there something about that? I can't remember now. I can't remember what it had in it, what I took out either. But these have got 3.2s in, so I don't know is the answer. I don't know. That's the truth, but my hair trimmer wants power and I'm cheap. Over 3 weeks. Oh, 52 and 56, wow. Well, that is unfortunate. The kick ROMs, not a lot on eBay. Well, I bought Amiga OS 3.2 and it came with the 3.2 kick ROM, so that's what I did. I just thought the 3.2 looked a little bit better, so I thought I'd get that. But there's another thing. Should have even upgraded 3.2. My Amiga 600, I've kept Workbench 2 on it because that's what I had on it back in the day, and I've kept the Kickstart 2 ROMs in it, and I know that can take 3.2, but I've kept that one older. Because I've just kept it as the way I kind of had it, with a hard disk, a 1 megabyte upgrade, and Workbench 2 with 2.04. But then the weird thing is I'm using the more advanced one. I'm using the 1200. If you mowed a big stripe in the middle of your head, you could pull off a good Keith Flint. I don't know who that is, I'll be honest. Let's have a look. Oh, right. Oh. Maybe. Hasn't he shaved his eyebrows off? Good lord. Good lord. English singer. Oh yeah, he did have a shave down the middle. Yeah, I can see it in one of the pictures. Well, I'm not sure about that, but you know, we'll have to see. I was never a massive Prodigy fan, to be honest. Anything after 2.0 something doesn't need an updated kick ROM. Okay, well there you go. That's the answer then. Apparently anything after 2. Doesn't need an updated kick ROM. Replacement anything after. I've got 2.04 or something in my Amiga 600, so in fact that is booting a hard disk, isn't it? So yeah, I've got a hard disk in that. RAM is so expensive. For the Amiga, is that? I got the 3.2 kick ROMs from Hyperion for my 500 Plus. Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got the Hyperion 3.2 kick ROMs, but for the 1200 obviously. Prodigy guy, yeah, I didn't like the Prodigy. It was too techno. Dickie Davis. That's a weird sample at the end. These are my favourite streams. Amiga nostalgia. That's what it's all about. That's why I've started titling the streams like this. It's like I'm not necessarily going to play Lemmings or this or that. I'm just going to... It's just about the Amiga now, isn't it? Let's face it. It always was, let's face it. Dickie Davis on World of Sport. I can't remember what he looks like. See, this is a 1/4 of a megabyte Pro Tracker song. He's dead. It said the Prodigy guy was dead as well. Is that true? Oh, well, I'm not keeping up on my Prodigy. Sounds quite good though. Right, a few years ago. Trip down nostalgia lane. Also introducing me to Amiga classics I might not have played originally. Well, like Lemmings? Come on, everyone's played Lemmings. Well, unless you were talking about something else. Still got Project X to play. I did that on that video and I haven't played it since. I don't want to play some of that Project X. It's a nightmarishly hard game though. And I've got a C64 game. I've got Golden Axe on cassette for the C64 and I've not even tried it yet. Gotta bust out the C64 for that. Cinema Goers games I loved. Cinema Goers? When are you doing a Jet Strike stream? Oh, Cinemaware. What's Jet Strike? I've never heard of that one. It's coming with... I'm googling it. Jet Strike. Is it? Oh, I don't know what that is. I can see it now, but recon photos taken. Is it an old game or a new one or something? Well, it's the first I've heard of it. First I've heard of that one. It's got like rock guitar in my left ear. Pinball Fantasies. I'm really into playing Pinball Effects actually on the Xbox. I'm playing it today actually. I love playing the Williams tables. They've made like recreations of the Williams tables. It's really good. So I don't know. I'd probably be a bit disappointed because after playing those really like look like real table games and going back to an Amiga game, I know it's probably quite a good game, but it still feel a bit of a jarring jump back 30 years. Have you played Z Out? I haven't, but I do want to play that. And I used to play X Out back in the day. I've got X Out for the Amiga. It's by Rasputin Software. You can get wings for free. I never liked Project X gameplay. Yeah, it doesn't look to be the greatest, but I do want to at least give it a go. I've not really properly played it. It looks like it's too hard and it's not really been very tuned very well. Elite Games were good. Ocean Games were the best. Ocean were just a publisher at the end of the day though, weren't they? Unless you're talking about they had some in-house like developers, didn't they, that did a few things. Base Jumpers. Nope, that's another one I've not heard of. Codemasters are still going? They certainly are. Fun games you like puzzle games could be Wizzy's Quest. Easy to begin with and the challenge starts. Public domain game? Wizzy's Quest. Favourite game of all time is Whizball. Wasn't that by the cannon fodder guys as well. What are they called? Sensible Software. Disposable Hero is a great horizontal shooter, rock solid. Mastertronic games. Yeah, they did all the cheapo games, didn't they? I probably played quite a lot of Mastertronic games back in the day. Ocean Whizball. But yeah, it was a Sensible Software. Am I right? Is it a Sensible Software game? I think. Whizball. Sensible. Yeah, it is Sensible. That was prior to Cannon Fodder. What is going on in this mod now? It's turned to... Is this mod 29 minutes long? My word. Mrs. Beanbag, It's a Holiday. I've got a print of the cover art of the late artist's wife. It was Sensible Software, right? I love the way that this Amiga... This is one of the things about this Amiga stuff. I love the way this Amiga just still works. It's great. It's just like, it's just working. It's 35 years old. It's fine. It's like, it works. I mean, I know it's had a few repairs here and there, but it's just working. It's not blown up or anything. I mean, I've replaced the power supply though with the modern one, because I think that might be the thing that keeps it alive longer. I mean, the old power supplies might not even be that bad. But yeah, this Amiga just works. I'm staying in a hotel in Cambridge for the weekend, and the terrible hotel Wi-Fi makes mod play 6 blocks of blur. What? Did you make it bigger like that? Let's put you with the yeah, let's have something. There you go. There's something to look at. Let's try. What do we want? This one. I like that one. There you go. That's better. Got some bouncy lines to look at now. The Wi-Fi can try and deal with that. Empire Soccer from Empire in Witham in Essex. I used one of my old Amiga discs I had, but it had a virus and it spread to a few of my other floppies. It took me a while to work out to clean my discs. Oh dear. John Hare. Yes, he's the guy that did the... Well, he did one of the tunes. I don't think he did the music for Cannon Fodder, but he did one of the tunes for Cannon Fodder because he wrote it or something. Oh, it's pretty now, I can see it. There you go. I didn't realise... I suppose it is just on the little screen. You can't really read it on the little screen, but it's just there. Activision has gone now. Well, it's not gone. It's Microsoft now, isn't it? There's a lot of Activision on Computer Chronicles, actually. They turn up on there every now and again. There's one episode called Computer Games, and what is it? The Activision guy comes on, and he's like, "Oh, what has he made? He's made a pinball game. He's made pinball construction set. I think Activision. I think he was Activision. Do you have the famous George Potato mod? I don't know what that is. Yeah, Blizzard. David Crane, he's been on there, but it wasn't David Crane and the one I'm talking about, it was somebody else. But David Crane has been on Computer Chronicles, and he was showing off Ghostbusters, I think. What the devil is this? It's an Octamed mod. It's like an early meme, isn't it? It's going. Yeah, it's Activision Blizzard, but isn't Activision Blizzard now owned by Microsoft? I'm forgetting who owns who now. Didn't they buy... who did Microsoft buy? Didn't they buy Activision Blizzard? I've forgotten. Let me check. Yeah, Microsoft have acquired Activision Blizzard quite recently. Was that last year? And it's still going through. It's all on the go. I think. Yeah, so everyone's buying everyone. That's all you know. Everyone buys everyone. Oh yeah, and there's US Gold, who weren't a US company. Is that right? Were they a British company? I don't know. And Imagine, yeah. Didn't they? Did Imagine publish Ya Kung Fu? That's the one I'm thinking of. The result? No original games. Yeah, it's just basically, it's going to end up with like every game is a Microsoft game. Minecraft, it's Microsoft. Call of Duty, it's Microsoft. Hypersports. Anyway, Microsoft own a lot now. There's a lot of Microsoft on that Computer Chronicles as well. Especially when Windows 3 is coming out and stuff like that. It's funny how like there's a lot of like people coming on showing off their software, and it's just like there's a lot of episodes about AI, and the AI is funny because there's a lot of program like AI back then was just like one guy's got a program, and it's basically 20 questions, but helping you diagnose how to like what's wrong with a car. But it's basically 20 questions, and they're just going, yeah, this is the future of AI, and we've got this amazing. They call them expert systems, which is just like a computer program that an expert would use to diagnose a problem, like a doctor diagnosing a person or a mechanic diagnosing a car. But it basically is just a 20 questions database. That's all it really is. But that's what we had, and it ran on a, crappy little PC. And some of the PCs they get on, they're so insanely expensive. It's no wonder we had Amigas, right? Because the Amigas were cheap. But they're on there and they're going, it's 1984, and they're going, yeah, we've got this great new PC. It's it's got 500 kilobytes of RAM, and it's got a hard disk in it, and it's got this monitor. And you're like, how much is this? It's like, it's $7,000, and that was in 1984. So it was like basically the price of a car. And it's just like, no wonder nobody had these except for business. It was impossible. Remember Sablewolf? I don't remember Sablewolf. Oh no, everything is going the EA route. By the end of the century, we'll only have EA, Microsoft, Apple, and Disney. It's possible. That is totally possible. I think that could be right. EA, Microsoft, Apple, and Disney. Yeah, it's true. Do you have Scorched Tanks? I hardly have any real games here. That's the problem. No, I don't have Scorched Tanks. It's public domain software. I had Sablewolf. On the Spectrum. Spin Dizzy Worlds was good on Amiga. Never got very far in it. Jetpack. Everyone's got like all these games that they want to play. It's amazing, isn't it? There's so many. X-Copy. I've got X-Copy somewhere. I think I didn't do a whole lot of gaming. I did a lot of gaming on Amiga, but did more gaming on the C64 probably. Was it just tanks on the Amiga? It feels so much better now. You've got this mod screen on now. You can see the mod dancing away. Just to prove that this is a real Amiga and it's really playing this music. I have the X-Copy dongle. Nice. Nice. Oh, I tell you what I do want to do. It might be I don't think I'll ever get around to doing it, but I haven't used Octamed or any of those programs for ages, but I'd like to make a music track, but I'd like to sample. This is because I was watching this Computer Chronicles. There's Adam Osborne's on there. You know, if the guy did Osborne Computers who screwed up and went bankrupt. Adam Osborne is on the Computer Chronicles, and he has got the most ridiculous voice. He's like, okay, so he's very British, but more British than any British person, to the point where he's gone super British. But I could sample him and just make a hilarious like tune out of it. It's just the way he says micro. Oh, he says it like microcomputer. It's just like, yes, I think the microcomputer will be this or that. It's just, his voice is incredible, basically. He's definitely got a villain voice. Everyone in the comments is just talking about his voice. So yeah, he needs sampling, basically. He needs sampling and a tune making out of him. Daily Thompson Olympic Challenge. The irony is strong with Xcopy. Fast became the most copied program on the Amiga. Yeah. What a surprise. I used Octomed Program Tracker, Screen Tracker, Mod Plug Tracker, to name a few. My friend had an Amiga PDM called Bedroom Olympiad. Still talk about it today. Oh my god. Public domain was just crazy, wasn't it? Like I said, the only one I remember the demo, really, that I remember from back in the day was that Rebels Mega demo that somebody helped me find when we were on a live stream. And I actually used that in one of my videos when I was testing the power of the Amiga 1200. Not the power of the CPU, but how much power it draws. Gary Bracey was CEO of Ocean Software. Right. I think I'm going to call the stream there. It's past the witching hour. It's 20 to 1. So it's time for Betty Bob's, everyone. If you're in Britain, in this time zone. It's time for the Betty Bob's. Everybody have your glass of warm milk. Unless you're not in this country, and then don't go and drink a glass of warm milk and go to bed, because it might be middle of the day or something. But thanks for coming. Next week, might do another level of Lemmings. Oh, I did 3, so I could do another 1 or 3. I'll get through it eventually. Or play some other games. I was planning to play some other games, but I got entrenched in Lemmings. Thanks for the tips. I don't know what the tips were, but thanks for them. My tips were, cut the batteries out of your Amiga. That was the whole tips. It came from the desert. Yeah, there's another one. Quick, get it. Oh, you're gonna get a new. Oh, you're gonna get a new lead. Right. Yep. Yep. Try that first. Try that. But you never know what you're gonna win. Tips were: cut your own hair, save £12, and save all those £12. In fact, cut your own hair, save £12, and that's about the price of an RGB to SCART cable. So there you go. Thanks for the stream. Great tuning next time. Sleep tight. Thanks everyone. Time for Betty Bob's. Right. I will catch you. Catch you in the next one.